All right, we're live. Okay, I don't like that camera angle that much. If I'm being honest. Let's see. This is decent. Um, I guess it's okay. It's not great, but yeah, I gotta figure out a better camera angle, chat. I kind of move it around based on what I like, on how well, my it's more along the lines of my what's it called, light ring keeps isn't very stable, so it moves a bit, and so that's how I decide where my camera's going to be on any certain day. And I don't love where it's at right now. Not gonna lie. At all. Maybe it needs to be like more tilted this way and more down more. Is that better? I don't know. It still isn't great. Still ain't great. So I'm not a huge fan of how my camera's looking, but um all right, that could be decent. It's not great. I seem to be mostly centered, so I guess it's okay. I still don't like it, but we're just gonna get right into it, chat. Yeah, it's gonna be a react day. I got a lot of videos lined up, and that should, and I think we're just gonna cover the entire stream doing just straight up reacts, and then if I have any time left or feel like going on, I might do some Fortnite or Fall Guys. It really just depends on what I'm feeling at the moment because honestly. It's my stream. I can do whatever the hell I want. Anyway, so I'm just letting y'all know the plan, and honestly, I'm just gonna start it. So let's go to just chatting. Oh, no, wait, I'm on just chatting. I'm an idiot. This one and here in game. Sorry. All right.
From PewDiePie pushing YouTube
Every YouTuber that changed YouTube.
into a new era,
Maybe if YouTube weren't so reactionary to all these issues, none of this would have even happened.
to Mr. Beast changing the course of a famous online battle.
We will advertise PewDiePie to 100 million people today.
Here are 8 times YouTubers started revolutions, starting with the most famous online revolution of 2025, initiated by Ross Scott a year prior, when he highlighted how a massive industry scammed their audiences.
So video game publishers are making billions selling you a game as a good, not telling you how long it will last.
He was referring to companies like Ubisoft, which were notorious for destroying games even after users had paid for them. Frustrated by these tactics, Ross created Stop Killing Games, a movement against unfair ownership laws affecting gamers worldwide.
I do remember hearing about that. What was it like what was it the don't kill games rule or whatever? And then I think there was like a lot of people behind it, and it genuinely sounds like a good idea. And then Pirate Software out of nowhere just basically said it's a horrible, and he would never support this. And then I don't really remember what happened, but I do know he pretty much ruined his entire career off of it, which is kind of funny considering that literally why would you have an issue with making billion-dollar corporations keep their games up for users who spend like $80 on the game? But it's Pirate Software. I don't think the guy actually knows how to say I was wrong. So
The movement would gain immediate support from the community, with petitions signed in the UK and Australia within a month. But not everyone was keen on the mission.
oh yeah, here he
Famous
is.
streamer and game developer Pirate Software, real name Jason Hall.
Both as a dev and a player. I see the danger involved, I see the vagueness in the language, and it doesn't make sense to me. If we want to fight for better conditions for players, then fight the actual problem. Don't make new ones.
This take only heightened the drama, and even though Ross didn't want to respond initially, he finally did so after 10 months.
He never completely got it. So Pirate Software did not understand the initiative. Maybe still doesn't.
This breakdown of his criticism caused Jason to try and save face on X. This aggressive response would rub most people the wrong way, including one of the biggest supporters of the movement.
And just goes on about like how he is the victim of Ross's toxic, terrible community, which is hilariously hypocritical coming from Pirate Software, when in his videos and his streams, he makes it very clear and is very rude about how much he dislikes not only Ross, but the movement.
I feel like anytime you get on like if you're like, well, not, what's the word for it? I feel like anytime Charlie makes a video about you, or I guess Moist, because I don't know him yet. If I ever meet him, I'll call him Charlie, but for now I'll just say Moist. If Moist makes a video about how you're in the wrong, I'm pretty sure your career is just gonna, like, you're not gonna be, everybody's gonna clown on you, because most, like, I think Charlie, or Moist, has the right, I mean, not like the right opinion about everything, but he has a lot of, like, 99% of the time, he's right on YouTube issues. So if he's, or, you know, gaming or stuff like that, so if you're on the, if Charlie's making a video about you, it's over, mate. Or I don't know why I said mate. Maybe I'm Australian. You'll never know. But and God, I am stupid. Anyway. Sorry, chat. I think my brain just broke. Anyway, if you get what I'm saying though, right? If Charlie I said I was gonna stop and I can't. If Moist makes a video about you, saying you're wrong, you should just admit defeat, because everybody like, he explains things so well and actually, you know, does his research. So I think Pirate Software should have just taken the L, but he I don't know what's wrong with him, but he refused to say he was wrong ever, which is, you know, interesting. An interesting career choice, because I think it destroyed his streaming career. I mean, not destroyed it, but he's definitely not doing well.
He would also use the opportunity to rally support against the evil companies.
Ross has dedicated so much of his life to this, and it's clearly taken a big toll. Now he's doing everything he can for this last ditch push to try and help.
This appeal for a last-ditch push was amplified a week later by Jacksepticeye.
Man, anything that you can
there,
do.
now should be
it's
louder.
at 723k right now, and it's 72% done. So if I can lend my voice to this and get it over the finish line to get to 1 million.
Within 3 weeks of these videos, the number of signatures would finally cross the 1 million mark, enough to reach the European Commission. And with more YouTubers voicing their support, it seems that Ross's movement has survived its biggest critic on the way to becoming a successful revolution. Even big corporations are starting to take notice, which is exactly what happened when PewDiePie's actions back in 2016.
I will say, I do remember hearing about that. It's like Pirate Software tried to kill it, and then somehow, like, I think Charlie not like saved it, but I mean basically saved it, because he kind of criticized how dumb Pirate Software's take was, and then everybody else started getting behind him and started saying verbally saying their support for it. And honestly, I'm kind of like, you know, it was really good to see, because, you know, if I pay for a game, like, let's say I pay for GTA and they shut down their online servers a year later, like, I paid $80 for this, I put like let's say I put like 300 into online, is it really fair for them to shut it down on all of us? I'm just taking an example. I know GTA servers are still up, but, you know, still.
Created an adpocalypse felt by YouTubers and advertisers worldwide. The first tremors would occur with a series of edgy jokes, including the infamous video where PewDiePie paid 2 men on Fiverr to hold up a disturbing sign that he regretted immediately.
I am sorry. I didn't think they would actually do it. I feel partially responsible, but I didn't think they would actually do it.
While intended as a joke, the content caught the attention of the Wall Street Journal, which published a critical article about the platform's biggest creator at the time.
I'm still here. I'm still making videos. Nice try, Wall Street Journal. Try again, mother.
And even though the article's author was criticized for misrepresenting PewDiePie, his words sparked a domino effect. Advertisers, including major names like Pepsi, AT&T, and even the UK government, began pulling their ads from YouTube after realizing they were appearing on controversial videos. This development would hit YouTube hard, causing the platform to implement a set of changes to tackle the adpocalypse. These policy updates gave more power to advertisers and placed tighter restrictions on those who could join YouTube's partner program. As a result, YouTube channels of all sizes were affected. Established creators now have to be more careful with their content.
And I'll let it be known right away here that yes, my channel has been hit extremely hard by this new shadow policy that they've slid into the equation here.
While smaller channels had to try harder than ever to meet the monetization criteria.
This is heartbreaking for a couple reasons. It's not about the money, it's the fact that so much of my early work is now shut off.
These rules were later made even stricter in response to other controversies, like Logan Paul's infamous 2018 scandal and the ElsaGate saga. As for the controversy that seemingly started it all, Pewds took a moment in March 2018 to explain what he believes really caused the adpocalypse.
YouTube hate preaches share screen with household names, and they have this video with a bunch of hate preach and it being displayed with advertising content. This inevitably led to Wall Street Journal dipping their toes in the issue as well. On March the 24th, Google's...
I will say that like, okay, early days of YouTube were quite something. I mean, back then there was like, I don't think there's any monetization, not monetization, but like filter most of the time. I mean, they'd obviously take it down if it was really bad, but I mean, I still remember the best friend unaliving prank. I'm gonna say that so it can go on YouTube, so that, you know, this reaction can go on YouTube. But like, that was an insane video. Like Logan Paul's, you know, I mean, obviously he showed it, but the Logan Paul forest video was also just absolutely, I think, you know, when the prank videos that did like public stuff, I'm trying to think of like a specific example. I think there's one guy who did a pretending to like harass women in public, you know, because obviously it's scripted because no one's that, you know, stupid, but still, it was kind of crazy to me what was allowed on YouTube back in like 2015. Like, it's crazy to think that's only 10 years ago, but man, YouTube was still kind of in its like baby era, or like toddler, you know, maybe like toddler, and it was just absolutely horrible what was going on. Like, horrible was being allowed to be posted, or at least be monetized. I mean, you can post that stuff now, you're just not going to get any money off of it unless you have an advertiser who's willing to say, yeah, we support this. So you take what you could get. I mean, I think YouTube's growing, and I think they went a little too far with some of what they demonetized, but I do think it was the right move. If I had to make a change, I'd say they should be a little bit looser. Like, they should personally like review each video a little bit more. I think they have fixed it a bit, and it's much better now, but back then it was just pretty much anything that's like 15 or 16 above, you're not getting monetized, bro.
YouTube has continued showing brands ads with racist and other objectionable videos. None of my videos were involved in any of these articles. This was about extremist content, ISIS videos, political hate preach, etc., etc.
His comments would be well received by the community, with some highlighting Pewds' positive impact on the platform. He single-handedly generated more revenue for this company than anyone else. The adpocalypse is solely an issue from horrific management at YouTube. But while Pewds wasn't directly responsible, his involvement helped create awareness around the rising influence of advertisers. Much like how Greg Doucette educates over 2.3 million subscribers on how fake natty influencers are crushing natural lifters fighter's self-esteem. This knowledge comes from his former experience as a professional bodybuilder and powerlifter for over 20 years. But after shifting to content creation in 2013, he decided to spend the rest of his career exposing the secrets of the fitness influencers. After opening up about his own use of steroids as a pro bodybuilder, Greg explained how other influencers and celebrities also use steroids, despite claiming otherwise.
These are paid actors making millions of dollars because of their bodies and their appearance, and they don't want to disappoint. They want to be the best. The pressure to be the best actor, the best body. You think The Rock would be who he is today without steroids? There's no way.
One of his
Okay, I do think The Rock, I think Dwayne is definitely on steroids. And I'd say maybe John Cena was as well at one point. I don't know if he still is, but he might be. I don't know, he's kind of retiring from WWE, so he probably won't be on steroids anymore, but maybe I don't think Momoa is. Like, who do you think is like natty? Because I don't, maybe Chris Evans, but it was kind of unnatural how much he bulked up for the Captain America role. So I'm not sure about him. I kind of believe Chris Hemsworth is natural because like he's just got the perfect body for it. So I think he's got the perfect body type, but it's kind of hard to tell who is and isn't because, you know, they're always on a screen. They're always made to look perfect. I'd like to believe Chris Hemsworth is natural because he does all this, you know, stuff. Like, he has kids and a wife, and I'm pretty sure he wants to be around for them. You know, wants to keep himself and his body safe. So, I try to think of who's natty, but I can't really think of anybody. Like, there's a lot of actors who I would 100% believe are on, you know, steroids. Like, I don't know. Maybe Momoa. I like that. There's not a lot of actor. I mean, like, honestly, I can name a ton of actors, but they're like not as built as those guys. So I do believe like maybe I think Jeremy Renner's definitely natural, but he's like, you know, he's not as bulked up as a Hemsworth or something like that. So
most famous callouts, however, came in 2023 when he criticized former Mr. Universe and actor Mike O'Hearn for downplaying his steroid use.
Does anyone still think he's natural? Is there even one person on Earth that thinks this guy's natural?
This unapologetic honesty made him both a trailblazer and a target, because soon after, Mike responded by belittling Greg's career.
All of you guys today, go unsubscribe, delete and block.
Oh,
those guys that have never accomplished anything, never done anything. I don't care if they got their pro card.
Right, okay, that's a panic move.
Again,
that's a panic move. He knows he's wrong. He definitely is just defend like. That's the... What's the word for it? I'm trying to think of the word. That's like a little kid at the playground defending his, like, you know, his ego gets hurt a little bit. So he starts defending himself or something. I don't know. It's like, honestly, if like his ego got hurt because he got called out, so now he's telling people to attack him. That's just such like a 12-year-old response. Oh, what's up, Dakship? Yeah, thanks for the follow. Oh man, that it's just not a good look if you're a creator, or you know, if you're like. If a guy calls you out instead of defending yourself, like, hey, unsubscribe, like, dude, that's not a good look, ever.
Get rid of it.
Unsurprisingly, the community remained largely on Greg's side. Mike O'Hearn has those whiskey genetics, just keeps getting better with age. And by whiskey genetics, I mean trend. This beef only cemented Greg as a leading figure, even inspiring fans and YouTubers alike to call out influencers like Liver King about their natty status.
This man has more sauce in his body than a Chick-fil-A. Even when he's sitting down,
Who
just
actually
look at
thought
his
this-
abs, his six-pack is more defined than 4K television, and they have
depends
more
on the-
depth than a
yeah, you
Game of
can,
Thrones season.
and I'll check it out.
It's beyond me how
I'll-
anyone
like,
ever
if-
believed that his
I'll
body
check it out
was-
off of not on my main monitor, and I'll see if I want to watch it on mainstream. You can, but like, who actually thought for a single second the Liver King was an actual, legitimate, like natty, bro? Like everybody and their mother knew that man was on roids the second we saw him. I mean, you don't get like super buff and super lean, like most of those guys look, without either like a decade of bodybuilding perfectly, or what he was using, which is just straight up steroids. So
was naturally achieved.
Proving that Greg's revolution has encouraged people to rethink what they see online. Just like how the internet's professional superheroes, Dr. Mike and Legal Eagle, have used their powers to expose how people are being misled by corporations. Starting with Dr. Mike, a board-certified family medicine physician who began his YouTube journey in 2017 by warning about the dangers of prescription drug abuse.
So what's Xanax? Xanax is actually alprazolam, which is its medical name, and it's used for anti-anxiety purposes only in the short term. Medical professionals discourage its use for long-term anxiety control because of its highly addictive nature.
His calm demeanor, paired with well-researched medical facts, convinced viewers that he had no hidden agenda. Over time, he used his platform to tackle misinformation directly, giving birth to a new YouTube category that blends reaction content with education. From debunking viral health hacks to calling out incorrect medical advice, Dr. Mike became the revolutionary doctor, declaring war on fake and dangerous medical claims. Like when he addressed Lunchly in 2024, breaking down why it was not the healthy alternative marketed by Mr. Beast.
Saying a food has more electrolytes, therefore it must be better or healthier, is just not true. Foods with an incredibly high sodium content and electrolyte are not considered particularly healthy.
And while Dr. Mike expertly spotlighted an influencer scam, he's not the only professional doing so.
But people are claiming that Mr. Beast broke the law, and that is my bat signal, or eagle signal.
Legal Eagle, real name Devin Stone, followed a similar path to Dr. Mike by using his background as a licensed attorney. He also launched his channel in 2017 with the idea of guiding law students. But as his channel grew, so did his focus. He began covering real-world lawsuits and exposing bad legal advice, breaking them down for the average Joe. Now this came into play in early 2024 when Logan Paul dared to threaten CoffeeZilla.
I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it.
Inspiring Devin to jump in and offer his legal opinion on why
there's not a single human being on the YouTube platform who is as stupid as Logan Paul when it comes to addressing controversy. I remember watching this, like when CoffeeZilla exposed him, and then his immediate response was to sue him. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Oh man, I mean, like, I'll give him props. He got past the forced video, which was actually very smart. The way he did it was just to ignore it, basically. But man, ever since like his like crypto scams and his Lunchly things have come out, it's been one controversy after the next, and he has not dealt with it well whatsoever. It's really funny to see. He does not know. He does not know how to, like, I mean, not deal with controversy, but he does not handle it well whatsoever. It is honestly quite entertaining, and I enjoy watching it because it's really funny half the time.
Was wrong.
But number one, he would have a very hard time proving damages, but more to the point, there's little evidence to support the claim that CoffeeZilla's characterizations were false in the first place. There was no completed game, his fans weren't paid back, and CoffeeZilla discovered that the people that Logan Paul was working with had lied.
His destruction of Logan's lawsuit would be met with praise from the community. I just love it when Devin literally looks at the camera and dares someone to play the F around and find out game against an actual lawyer. This response mirrors the kind of sentiments received by Dr. Mike, who, along with Devin, has inspired others to bring their professional skills to YouTube. But when it comes to confronting scams and holding celebrities like Logan Paul accountable, no one does it quite like YouTube's Sherlock Holmes, CoffeeZilla, whose work has reshaped how the internet investigates scammers. Real name Steven, CoffeeZilla began his YouTube journey in August of 2018 with a focus on exposing fake gurus. But by 2020, he had shifted his attention towards scams, particularly those involving influencers and crypto. One of these exposés targeted Jake Paul in 2022, who had promoted several questionable crypto projects by that point.
For example, Jake Paul got paid 39.9 Ethereum for the Sacred Devils promotional scam, which you can see right here. It's worth $139,000, which puts him on the board, which later linked up with a huge ring of NFT scammers we busted, actually.
Steven's research revealed that...
Has there ever, in the entire history of crypto, or, YouTube, YouTubers, has there ever been one who's promoted crypto and it actually have been good and legitimate? Because, I maybe there's a few, but all I hear about are the ones that, are obvious scams and just that pretty much rob viewers of their money and investment. That's all I hear about when it comes to YouTubers promoting crypto. I'm sure there's a couple that are actually real, but if they are, I haven't heard about them, and I don't watch YouTubers who actually promote that. So kind of proud of myself actually for never seeing an advertisement for crypto in a YouTube video. So
Jake had a financial stake in these tokens and stood to benefit when their values spiked. Going a step further, the internet's boogeyman would even trace Jake's wallet addresses to show how he was directly involved in deploying these tokens. This kind of thorough investigation helped set a new standard for online accountability, forcing creators to own up and address their victims. Over time, Steven's influence grew beyond YouTube, with his investigations shaping public opinion on digital scams. As of 2025, the online detective shows no signs of stopping, having already exposed scams from major influencers like KSI and Andrew Tate. Kids, live your lives in such a way that CoffeeZilla never makes a video about you. In fact, you don't even want him saying your name. Sadly, not everyone channeled their YouTube ambitions productively, choosing to take a darker path instead, like Nassim Agdam, who went too far with her sense of purpose in April of 2018. 8 years before her extreme act, though, the Iranian-American YouTuber was best known for her animal rights activism. While her videos were often bizarre, they featured a consistent theme of promoting a vegan lifestyle. However,
oh my
this would
God,
change
it's
in
the vegan
2017,
teacher.
the year of the adpocalypse, when creators across the platform saw a sudden drop in views and monetization. And even though every channel was hit hard by the new rules, Nassim viewed the changes as a targeted attack.
Many singers like Nicki Minaj, Miley, and many others who have sensual scenes so inappropriate for children to watch don't get age restricted. But my videos, my workout video gets age restricted. This is what they are doing to vegan activists and many other people who try to promote healthy, humane, and a smart living.
Unlike creators who adapted, Nassim spiraled from that point on, with her first step being to sever contact with her family.
Alright, that's actually, she's like, oh yeah, it's my video got age restricted, and then it immediately cuts to her in a really low cut top where you can, you can't see a lot, but you can see a good amount, chat. I swear, every vegan, vegans, I have nothing against their lifestyle, but it seems like every vegan I meet is so up in my face about how I'm a horrible person for eating meat. It feels like every vegan is self-righteous, saying, they're better than most people because they don't kill animals. It's and that's their biggest downfall is that nobody cares. I mean, honestly, you're more their choices are viewed as good, but their entire personality is viewed as a nuisance and mostly ignored. If vegans weren't so, I mean, at least the very vocal ones, like, you know, that vegan teacher or like that lady who I didn't even know existed, honestly, because I don't watch vegan YouTubers. If they weren't so vocal, they would have a lot more respect and following from the entire world. But as it is right now, I have seen people go up to vegans and eat meat just to spite them because of how annoying they are and can be when they just yell in your face that, you know, eating meat is murder while you're at, like, Dairy Queen and, you know, just trying to enjoy a friggin', you know, it's like a what is it, a milkshake and some, you know, like a burger or something, you know? It's like, it's annoying and unnecessary, and that's why, and that's, well, it's not, it's just, it's, I guess that's just the reason I just do not, like, that's why a lot of vegans are viewed as not annoying. There's a stronger word for it, but I'm not going to use it here.
April of 2018. Her whereabouts remained unknown until the police caught up with her in a parking lot near YouTube's San Bruno office. The very next morning, she would drive to the HQ and open fire in the middle of the employee courtyard. 3 people were injured before Nassim took her own life, leading the community to condemn her actions. Do not romanticize shooters. She's not beautiful or misunderstood. She was mentally ill, simple as that. As a result, Nassim's attempted revolution failed to achieve the good change she'd hoped for. But while this saga ended on a dark note, not all YouTube revolutions take this route. As proven by Mr. Beast, the unexpected ray of light in PewDiePie's battle against T-Series in 2018. This iconic war would see the most subscribed YouTuber at the time suddenly at risk of losing his crown to an Indian music label with corporate support. While this sub-count race was entertaining to follow,
I've looked
it
at
also
T-Series,
raised
bro.
questions about fairness on the platform.
Like, I was curious, because, you know, I was watching, you know, the T-Series versus YouTube, like, you know, PewDiePie thing. Dude, T-Series doesn't even get, like, 100,000 views on, like, 90% of their videos. I mean, it honestly, I think it was just a bunch of, like, you know, of their own, you know, like, Indians supporting the channel, trying to beat PewDiePie, because I'm looking at their videos, and they were not, I mean, yes, it was foreign, but, like, they don't even get views anymore, so honestly, I don't even know how they were so close to beating PewDiePie. Even if they were a record label, it was kind of insane to me. Like, that was, I have a feeling they were just, I feel like most of their subscribers were just, you know, what is it, like, it was like country pride, basically. That's how most of their subscribers came about, is what I would say.
It's not really a fair comparison. One guy and, you know, editors and whatnot versus massive corporation with thousands of employees. It's different. There should be, like, different buckets on YouTube. One for, like, the YouTubers, and the other for, like, this is a big company.
That same sentiment would fuel the Subscribe to PewDiePie movement, a global campaign with performances and even street protests. But no act of support was more ambitious than Mr. Beast's.
And if I don't do anything, PewDiePie won't be the #1 most subscribed to YouTuber in the world.
Bring it on.
Therefore, I spent all my money on ads so he can remain the #1 most subscribed to channel in the world.
True to his word, Mr. Beast purchased every major billboard in his hometown of Greenville, North Carolina. His ads would also appear on the road, in bathroom stalls, and even during the Super Bowl. The campaign was an instant hit, inspiring more acts of support from influential people like Elon Musk, giving PewDiePie the edge he needed to overtake T-Series on April 2nd, 2019. But things took a turn for the worse 3 weeks later when the Subscribe to PewDiePie meme was mentioned by the Christchurch shooter, forcing Pewds to quit the movement.
I didn't want hateful acts to overpower all these amazing things that people were doing, all these cool and positive things.
But despite the decision, which swung the momentum in T-Series' favor, the whole saga reinforced...
How are you gonna, like... Okay, I'm not... I gotta be careful because that's a sensitive topic. But you're comparing a guy who did something horrible. I don't even know how you, how do you even? I get he mentioned it, but like, how does that come up if you're a? You know, I'm not even gonna try to approach the topic because it's just not a good.
Community-driven change. In this
It
case,
definitely
the
is
change
not something I
was
wanted to
largely
mention
led
on
by
stream.
Mr. Beast, who would ironically go on to surpass
I have to be
T-Series
careful with how
himself
I
in
respond to that.
2024. This idea of a creator-led revolution has since been echoed many times, most notably by MatPat in 2025, who was empowering YouTubers through his government initiative. This political development came a year after his emotional farewell to YouTube, where he hosted his popular Theory channels for over 40 million subscribers. While announcing his post-YouTube plans on X in June 2025, Matt highlighted the growing challenges in the creator economy, like privacy and AI misuse.
Creators are some of the first people, the first businesses to actually have to confront these issues head first on a daily basis. And it's our hope through this creator caucus and through the conversations that it's going to inspire that we can help educate legislators.
But education wasn't his only goal, as Matt also wanted improved financial support for content creators.
Things like clarification of tax codes for a new category of entrepreneur and access to small business support.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree with the like, yes, I mean, I get it, he wants them to make more money, but like, if you're a successful content creator, you're making plenty, unless like the taxes are like god awful and you're like a very small creator. But like, if you're bigger and making like millions of dollars, I'm not gonna be persuaded to, like, you know, to give them more money when they're already super successful. I mean, it just doesn't feel like something that needs to happen. Just saying, chat.
And resources.
Before explaining why his initiative could be revolutionary beyond YouTube.
More and more, all companies are relying on these digital platforms to get their messages out and to grow their customer bases or to improve their growth potential. So in our mind, this is just as much a creator economy caucus as it is a future economy caucus.
His announcement would be met with widespread praise from the internet, even sparking hope for a future presidential campaign. But while Matt hasn't officially entered a political race, his efforts mark a new chapter for YouTube as a platform, making him yet another creator who chose to rewrite the rules of the internet instead of blindly following them.
Ugh, I hate how this happens. Okay, I should just... There. I don't know why that happens every time, chat. It's just weird. Because I have it on autoplay. I guess I should just turn autoplay off, maybe. Can I do that? I don't know how to do that. Anyway. The deserved downfall of Roblox. Schlep vs. Roblox.
Roblox is currently facing one of the biggest scandals in gaming history,
right.
and
Let's
judging by
chat.
their response so far, this could be what finally destroys the game for good. It all started with them banning and threatening to sue a YouTuber named Schlep for exposing PDF files on their platform.
Dude, I remember seeing this. I was playing Roblox. I like to play Roblox on stream because there's a lot of games you can play. And there's like just so much like content you can get out of it. And then I saw this and I'm like, oh, you suck so hard. Because there's literally no way. I was like, I don't feel comfortable watching this now. Or not playing this, because it's like, you know, how are you going to sue a guy for exposing stuff like that, you know? And it's made me like, I mean, it's not like the game's, it just kind of makes it unplayable, you know? Like, you know that feeling when I watched, you know, I used to watch iCarly when I was younger, and I tried watching, like, and then you try watching a single Nickelodeon show that was made, like, with Dan, or was it Dan Schneider? Yeah. Try watching a single one. I guarantee you will not be able to enjoy it. I tried watching one, I'm like, it just felt uncomfortable to watch. That's kind of how it feels with Roblox right now. It's not in a good spot.
Roblox Corporation has sent a cease and desist letter to me, a 22-year-old, versus a multi-billion-dollar company, threats of litigation because I catch predators on their platform.
But when Schlepp shared the incident online, most people saw it as Roblox trying to shield some of the worst people in our society.
So instead of stopping the predators, Roblox stops the people stopping the predators. It's really backwards, if you ask me. That shit doesn't make any sense. Like, just let that marinate in your head for a moment.
What followed was a firestorm of backlash that went far beyond a trending hashtag. Some of the biggest Roblox creators cut all ties with the company.
Roblox is so detached from reality. I feel like it's got to be done at this point. I'm leaving the STAR program. I'm out. I'm done.
It's getting sued by members of the US government. It lost over $12 billion in market value in days. And now, the most well-known PDF catcher in the world, Chris Hansen, is telling Roblox to take a seat. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we're taking a deep dive into the disturbing situation surrounding Roblox, how it failed to address the massive child safety issues on its platform for years, banned one of the few people who were actually trying to make a difference, and then doubled down on its decision despite everyone on the internet telling them just how wrong this move was.
I think some of these groups started off in a really good place, and they started off really, and they still do really care about the community.
But you know what the right move is? Subscribing, because 76% of you aren't subscribed but still watch all of my videos. That being said, to truly grasp the chaos unfolding in front of us, we have to start with the man at the heart of it all, Schlepp. Michael, known online as Schlepp, is a Roblox YouTuber who first gained success by bringing attention to the mountains of inappropriate content and games on the platform. However, what really cemented Schlepp as a household name in the Roblox community was his To Catch a Robloxian series. In essence, these videos were similar to how Chris Hansen used to do things back in the day, or even how modern hunters like Gideon catch PDF files online. The only difference was, instead of social media as a whole, Schlepp focused entirely on Roblox. He used decoys who pretended to be underage and engaged with anyone trying to have inappropriate conversations with these decoys.
He would not stop talking about how much he was obsessed with the face of the decoy.
I'm obsessed.
Tell me more.
I just love how
What
good
is
your
oh
face looks.
no? What is with
Really?
this AI
Hell
voiceover
yes.
chat?
You're attractive.
Oh my
I definitely do
God,
some
this
stuff
makes
to
me so-
your amazing face, you know?
From this
Dude,
point
this is
on,
more-
the
this-
messages
that's
become
so
so
uncomfortable to
graphic
listen
that
to.
I don't even feel comfortable sharing them here. For context, not long after the last messages I showed, he sent an explicit photo, and then multiple videos. The decoy played naive, pretending to not understand this kind of stuff.
Once he had enough information on who the other person was, or if the other person tried to make a move on the decoy, Schlepp handed everything over to the police, allowing them to take matters from there. And unlike creators like Vitali, who tried to hunt down prods just to humiliate them on camera and farm content, Schlepp's only goal was to make Roblox a safer place for its hundreds of millions of underage players. And by getting 6 different PDF files arrested in just the last 10 months, he was definitely succeeding at this goal. The audience also loved this content, with many even sharing personal anecdotes in support of everything Schlepp was doing. Hi Schlepp, I'm an SA survivor, and seeing you protect other kids from going through the pain I went through really warms my heart. Thank you. Dude, you're not protecting Roblox, you're protecting the world. As a teenage girl, thank you so much for doing this work. I know to avoid these people, fortunately, but I'm so glad you're protecting the people who don't know what to avoid. You're amazing. And while millions appreciated him for doing the right thing, for Schlepp, this meant a lot more than that. For him, it was personal. You see, Schlepp first started playing on Roblox 10 years ago, when he was just 12 years old. Unfortunately, not long after joining, he was contacted by a prominent game developer on the platform. And for the next 3 years, this developer did everything in their power to group Schlepp, from sending them graphic violent content and corn, to engaging in deeply inappropriate conversations. However, when Schlepp was hospitalized after trying to end it all, likely due to the mental abuse he was going through, his mother tried to contact Roblox about what was going on, only for her pleas to fall on deaf ears. The company only responded after his mother threatened legal action. but even then, they waived all responsibility, claiming that the inappropriate stuff happened, quote, on another platform, completely glancing over the fact that it all started on their platform, and more importantly, the person who was being reported was directly contracted by Roblox. Worst of all, this person didn't face any penalties for what they did to Schlepp. Roblox kept them on payroll for years, and only fired them after another female developer reported them for SA. In other words, to catch a Robloxian was Schlepp's way of making sure no other kid goes through what he once did. That said, the only reason Schlepp had to take matters into his own hands was because Roblox didn't show any interest in making their game safe for over 50% of their players.
I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out that there's a couple of people in Roblox who are, how do I say this without saying it? You know, they like, okay, you know what I'm trying to say though. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a couple of people in Roblox who are, you know, into some distasteful stuff, and by that I mean disgusting. Honestly, I don't understand how Roblox can do this without, what's the word for it? Like, if you're like $1 billion corporation, how do you not? I get it's negligence, and it's pretty, like, you know, it's just, I guess you don't care that much, or you don't, but there's gotta be, I'm trying to come up with the right words, but like nothing's coming to mind. It's like, I just don't understand how corporations like this can just not give a shit. That's my biggest thing. It's like, you know, there's kids on your platform and you don't care if, and then once somebody actually brings attention to it, you automatically sue them. Like, how did they think that was gonna go? Like, did they think people were gonna take their side? Oh, man.
The thing is, Roblox has always been a popular hunting ground for PDF files due to its lax moderation and practically non-existent age verification. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of reports of Preds using the platform to find and lure victims. Many even using the in-game currency Robux as a bribe for inappropriate favors, including multiple cases of
bad,
PDF
but,
files going as far as
there.
kidnapping victims they met on Roblox. And an investigation done by an Australian online safety organization also exposed just how widespread this issue truly was.
Who's been offered free Robux to do something that was inappropriate in the game? Or someone has said,
I'm so glad.
Free Robux if you come and follow.
I am so glad. I am like one of the last kids of my generation to actually go outside and play. Like, you know, like when I was younger, like at most what I got was like a Wii, and we would only play that at like nights, and there was no internet access to it. So, you know, all I was playing was like Wii Sports and like Mario, bro. The rest of the time I was going outside and like playing with my friends. Dude, I'm so happy that I'm not one of the kids who's stuck on Roblox like 24 or like Fortnite, one of those kids. Like, yes, I play Fortnite now, but man, I'm so glad my mom made me go outside when I was younger. Oh, yeah. It's sad how, I mean, I get it's a lot less safe for kids to go outside now. I mean, but if you're in like in the suburbs, well, I guess if your parents aren't watching you, they're a lot more worried, but still, I feel like nowadays it's like more and more kids are just staying inside on their tablets than like actually, you know, touching grass. So I think I'm like one of the last kid, like I'm part of the last generation that actually went outside to have fun. If it feels like, honestly.
On Snapchat or TikTok or something like that. Who's had that happen? Okay, loads of you.
Yet, despite all this, Roblox never took any of it seriously and let things become worse with each passing day. Not to mention the influx of extremely disturbing games on the platform like Escape to Epstein Island, Public Bathroom Simulator, and the many Diddy-related titles. Roblox's inaction forced Schlepp to fix the issue himself to the best of his abilities. But instead of thanking him for his effort or even learning from his example and doing something themselves, Roblox responded by doing the worst thing they could, banning Schlepp and threatening legal action if he continued exposing PDFs on their platform. On August 9th, 2025, Schlepp uploaded a video with a title that sounded too cartoonishly evil to be true, claiming Roblox is threatening to sue me for protecting kids. Unfortunately, this wasn't clickbait.
The Roblox Corporation has sent a cease and desist letter to me, a 22-year-old, versus a multi-billion-dollar company, threats of litigation, because I catch predators on their platform.
Schlepp revealed that every account he's ever had on Roblox was banned from the platform, including the accounts he and his team were actively using to catch PDFs.
They picked the
it was
worst
also
dialogue
prohibited
option.
from using any Roblox product ever again, with threats of legal action if he ever tried to work around this ban. However, their reasoning for doing all this was dubious at best and outright deceptive at worst. According to them, Schlepp's actions were somehow exposing their users to increased risk. The three actions they highlighted as primary reasons behind this cease and desist were also untrue. For instance, they claimed that Schlepp was the one directing users to move the conversation off platform, even though it was clear from his videos that the Preds were the ones who always asked the decoy to go off platform to apps like Snapchat or Discord. Similarly, their claim about simulated child endangerment conversations didn't hold much weight either.
Engaging in
Dude, I'd take
simulated
him to
child
court. I'd
endangerment
countersue.
conversations. What? So one of the fundamental bases of predator catching
Okay.
is that you cannot talk.
Yeah, the deserved downfall of Roblox. I mean, whatever. I'm assuming you've heard about how badly Roblox has messed up with the whole Schlepp what was it called, Schlepp controversy. So, I mean, if you haven't, I would do okay. I'll give it a quick breakdown. Basically, he's exposing how do I say this without getting banned, or not banned, just in a little. Okay, so he was exposing creeps, you know, on Roblox, who are doing things with minors, and Roblox sued him for it. So that's basically all the context you need, and you can pretty much figure out who's the you can pretty much figure out you can pretty much figure out who's in the wrong
Predators
here.
are supposed to be the ones talking sexually to you. If you talk sexually to predators, like straight off the get-go, that's entrapment. That is literally what entrapment is. We almost always play a naive kid who doesn't know anything about this stuff, so they teach us about this stuff. If you watch these videos, you know how the chats are going.
Worst of all, the company claimed that Schlepp didn't use the right channels to report these PDFs before going to the authorities, disregarding the fact that he always shared the same chat logs with Roblox as he did to the police. The only difference is the police actually took action, while Roblox ignored his reports altogether.
Tell me the right outlets. I have been trying to figure this out for like a year now. We go to roblox.com/support, submit a moderation ticket, and then fill out the prompt with all the information regarding our arrest and give you guys the same Google Drive that we give to the cops. And in a lot of instances, Roblox won't even ban after we reach out to them regarding felony arrest.
The only time Roblox actually banned the perpetrators was long after Schlepp's video featuring them received millions of views. Now, one could argue that Roblox didn't respond to his reports simply because they don't have the capacity to review the tens of thousands of reports they receive each day, though they would if they actually cared about keeping their platform safe. But giving them the benefit of the doubt still doesn't change the fact that, in one instance, Schlepp even tagged the company's CEO directly on Twitter, and instead of any acknowledgement, he was blocked.
Last time I tweeted at Roblox's CEO, it was about a predator we had arrested. Roblox ignored it until Gideon and I made videos. Then they banned him, only for him to return. I sent proof of him talking about the video I made on him in a voice chat game on Roblox. Mind you, the same game, a 10-year-old was abducted through weeks from this taking place. I replied to one.
I've played Roblox on stream. There's like a chat log you can go to, and I think they become friends and they start talking, and then like they go to like Discord or like another chat service or something like that. It's actually very easy to do, which is why it's such an issue for Roblox. So it feels like Roblox as a whole is just taking the, like, you know, like how you have those games where it's like, you know, you pick dialogue options, like what's it like Become Human. Yes, they do that pretty much. I mean, not right away, but yeah. So like, you know, it's, you know, like that, like, was it Detroit Become Human? It feels like that, where they pick every single, like, Roblox has picked every single wrong option up to this point. So like they get the worst of the worst ending. Yeah, I'm like 20, bro. I'm not. No, do not, no, don't make that joke. Do not make that. No, I know. I don't know. No, I am not. So like, I think I've seen, like, you know, like the Detroit Become Human, where like they I remember like there was this one ending where a guy picked every single wrong option, where the robot ended up shooting himself at the end of the game, which nobody had even figured out how to do yet, but he messed up the game so badly. Everybody died, and his own character, like, I think gets shot. And I don't think anybody else has ever gotten it that bad, but he screwed up that much. It was hilarious to watch, and I couldn't stop laughing at it for like half an hour.
One of the CEOs posts about this, and he blocked me.
Getting back to his ban, it's unclear why anyone at Roblox thought it would be a good idea. What is clear, however, was that none of them expected the sheer scale of backlash they would receive in response. Schlepp's video announcing the ban went viral almost immediately, amassing over 4.5 million views in less than 2 weeks. More importantly, the topic got picked up by some of the biggest creators on YouTube, almost all of whom were in full support of Schlepp.
It's pretty odd considering Roblox willingly turns a blind eye to the plague on their platform, but will laser focus, dial in, and fucking call in like the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs in order to try and wipe out people like Schlepp that try and stop the predators themselves. So instead of stopping the predators, Roblox stops the people stopping the predators. It's really backwards, if you ask me. That shit doesn't make any sense. Like, just let that marinate in your head for a moment.
Just hours after the announcement, #FreeSchlepp started trending on social media sites as well, and the support for him was overwhelming, with some of the top comments under his video stating things like, "The whole world is on your side, homie. Roblox won't win, and we'll make sure of it. Keep fighting. We'll be there with you. We with you 100%, bro. They should be disgraced you're doing their job for them." Roblox's initial response to this backlash seemed like a step in the right direction, like banning many of the deeply inappropriate games they'd been happily promoting to children for years, and forcing popular games like Meep City to remove all inappropriate features like lewd animations and outfits. In reality, however, this was nothing more than corporate damage control, something that became obvious.
The second you start doing the second you start doing the right thing after you're called out, you're absolutely screwed. Like you remember, because I remember there was like, what was it? It was like a company. I don't remember what it was, but they like, I think they made a faulty product. I think it was like a kid's toy. I don't remember what it was. And like people called them out for doing like very unsafe toys, and then they changed it. It didn't matter because it felt like they were doing it just so they didn't lose money. That's what Roblox is doing right now. It's the second you do it because people are like saying you're disgusting and horrible piece of shit. Like, I don't remember. I think it was like this. It was like this toy that was like weirdly sexual, and it was like I don't remember, but I remember watching a YouTube video about it, and they were forced to like get rid of it and change their entire like line, like and then like apologize and make new toys, and I just can't remember what it was. But I do like I might be able to find it if I look it up, but I don't really want that toy. I don't know. I don't know if I want that image on my stream. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't.
With the response
Yeah.
video, the company's executives, including
Roblox
the
is
CEO,
actually
put
royally,
out.
like,
And while they didn't
fucked
mention
here.
Schlepp by name,
I'm gonna
the
use the
whole
word-
45-minute video
I don't
boiled
use
down to
that
how,
word a
quote,
lot, but, like,
vigilantes were
they're-
going too
they're
far.
absolutely-
I think some of these groups started off in a really good place, and they started off, really, and they still do really care about the community. The actions that they were taking were putting our community at greater risk and were violations of our policy.
This doesn't really make any sense if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, because by definition, a vigilante is someone who undertakes law enforcement in their community without legal authority. In other words, someone who takes the law into their own hands and tries to enact judgment despite not having the authority to do so. Well, Schlepp never did anything even remotely close to this. He never tried to detain the PDFs he exposed or put them through some other punishment. All he did was hand over the information he'd gathered to the authorities and let them decide what to do next, which, given the evidence he'd gathered, usually resulted in the
Roblox
Preds
is
getting
royally
arrested.
screwed here,
So
chat.
when some of Roblox's
They are
top
royally
executives
screwed.
insinuated that Schlepp was acting like a vigilante, it only underscored just how out of touch they truly were. At one point in the video, Roblox's chief safety officer made a string of claims about Schlepp and his team to justify the ban, only for the CEO to cut him off mid-sentence.
They would go and create accounts on Roblox claiming to be a child. And then they would enter into game servers.
Yeah, that's
and they
true.
would go and start asking everybody around them.
I said this earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some people high up in Roblox who did this purely because they have some weird stuff going on as well. I would not be shocked at all. I'm not gonna accuse them though, because that's like pretty much like, I think that's like, what's the word for it? Slander. But a lot of these corporations have some really weird stuff going on at the top. I mean, Nickelodeon had Dan Schneider on for years before they were finally forced to remove him. Man. But I went back and watched iCarly, and there was a lot of weird stuff with feet, and I think we all know why now. So, yeah, it's uncomfortable to watch anything that was ever made by Dan Schneider now. It's
And they were seeking out adults. If you said that you were 12 or you said you were 7, they would just move on. But if you said that you were 25, then they would start engaging in conversations, and they would try and use those conversations to simulate.
Matt, is this anecdotal? Because I know we have chat logs for all chat on Roblox and historical records. Are you able to kind of take a look at this?
The way CEO David Baszucki interrupted and derailed the conversation was quite suspicious, almost as if he realized the CSO was making things up and didn't want to hand the internet any more ammunition. Here's the thing, however, if the company's track record is anything to go by, they likely would have stuck with their decision to ban Schlepp and moved on like nothing ever happened. No amount of online backlash would have made them budge. In a statement released on August 13th, they even insinuated that PDF catchers like Schlepp were somehow just as bad as the Preds. Fortunately, the
it's the
story of
worst
Schlepp's
dialogue
ban
option
became
possible.
international news,
How do you
allowing it to reach people
even the
who
Papa
can actually
John's
hold
guy wasn't this
Roblox
bad.
and its management accountable. On August 15th, 2025,
I mean, come
Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill filed a lawsuit against the company for knowingly endangering the well-being of its younger player base. This hits the company where it mattered the most, their wallets. The news of this lawsuit was followed up by a historic crash in Roblox stock, wiping off over $12 billion from its market valuation. And this...
Internet Anarchist. Yeah. I like his videos are like pretty good. And I used to watch Sunny V2 as well. but he hasn't uploaded in like 4 months, and I have honestly no idea why. Maybe he's like quitting YouTube or taking a break, or he could be like, you know.
Was only after the lawsuit was announced. It's not hard to imagine
Yeah,
Roblox
he makes
losing
good- like,
a
it's
lot
great
more
for
if the
reacting
lawsuit
to it.
goes through and
And I like
succeeds.
his,
That said,
content
the
style,
Louisiana lawsuit was
I'd
only the
watch
beginning
Sunny
of
V2
Roblox's troubles.
as well, but he-
because the same
like I
day,
s- like I
Schlepp
said,
announced
he
the
hasn't
law
uploaded
firms
in
he'd partnered
forever.
with to file a counterclaim against Roblox. These are Steiner Gold, Greco and Hensley, and Milberg Coleman, Bryson Phillips Grossman, both of which have successfully represented victims of Jeffrey Epstein in the past. And if that wasn't bad enough, world-renowned PDF catcher and grifter Chris Hansen announced his upcoming documentary on Roblox a day later on August 16.
You may have heard that my streaming crime network, True Blue, and I are investigating the exploitation of children on the popular gaming platform Roblox. Well, it's absolutely true, and we're deep into it. I've already interviewed law enforcement investigators and victims of this horrible activity.
In a recent video on Schlepp's channel, he even voiced his full support for
They
what
got
the young
Hansen on
YouTuber
there
was
now,
doing.
bruh.
Horrible from a public image standpoint. I mean, you're killing the messenger, right? It's not like you're out there tracking these guys down with, you know, tasers and smoke guns. I mean, you're providing information to the platform to do something about it.
Now, these lawsuits and documentaries may not pose an immediate threat to Roblox. After all, proper investigations
lost
and
12
legal
billion. I think
proceedings
it's
take
a
time,
little bit
but
of a
that
threat,
doesn't
you
mean the
know?
company is in the clear just yet. You see, the biggest blow Roblox has taken in this entire controversy is to its reputation. Just think of how many parents assumed Roblox was just a harmless children's game, and to let their kids have unrestricted access to it. With Schlepp's story gaining international attention, many of these parents have now seen the truth, and they will likely never let their kids get even close to Roblox ever again. As an angry father on YouTube put it, "I'm a 31-year-old father of a 9-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. I had absolutely no idea how dangerous this Roblox could be. I had to sit my daughter down and asked her if she had ever played any of these games like Bathroom Simulator, and it turns out she has. I'm furious as a dad. How could things like this exist in a child's game? If I could meet with that Roblox CEO in person, I'd kick his ass." This, ultimately, is one of the most important outcomes of this whole situation. So even if Roblox manages to dodge legal trouble and continues operating as
Dude,
usual,
even if they do-
parents and by extension their
Honestly,
children will still be aware of the dangers lurking on the platform. Especially since the CEO of said platform sounds completely unhinged, with his plans to add online dating to a platform where over half the player base is underaged.
Given Roblox's history with how many cases, numerous cases there have been of adults preying on children through Roblox, to
Okay,
now try and
that's-
cater
that's
Roblox to be
insane.
a dating site for adults sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A petition to remove this CEO has received over 212,000 signatures in less than 2 weeks, and maybe new leadership could save Roblox. But right now, it's racing towards a downfall it fully deserves. A game that didn't deserve its downfall one bit, however, was Little Big Planet.
Alright,
Click
well,
the video-
I think I already watched that one. How... I'm trying to rationalize in my brain how does a person think of this? Like, there's less than 10% of their player base is over the age of 18. How did you think online dating would go? Dude, leave that to Tinder, bro. Leave that to oh man. I'm trying to figure out how anybody thought this was a good idea. But there's no excuse. I mean, okay, you know what? Let's look this up. Let's look this up. Okay, Roblox stock. How? Oh man, it's not as bad as it once was, but it ain't doing well. No, let's go a month. How's it going over a month? Oh man. Yeah, okay, so it ain't been doing good. Oh man. Honestly though, if I'm being real, I think Do you think the lawsuit will go through? Cause like he has a good case. Like they banned him for false accusations, pretty much. I'm almost positive that lawsuit would go through. Like they'd at least settle. So I think Schlepp's gonna be doing okay. And I don't think, unless they fire everybody and like the top, like, you know, like the owners and like the stock shareholders fire everybody, I don't see any way for them to ever come back from, like, they got to change a lot. Like to start, they have to change their chat features and pretty much everything. And they have to get rid of all the games. I'm pretty sure they've done that, but they got to make a lot of changes, and I don't know, considering Roblox's history, dude, a milli settlement, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even more than that, considering, like, his entire, like, they threatened to ruin his career, because he makes money off, like, it's his job, so he could probably get a lot more from Roblox, and I wouldn't even be shocked, because, like, if it goes to trial, I wouldn't expect a jury in the world to side with Roblox. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more. So yeah, Roblox, you are royally pwned. You're gonna get bent over for a while. You just gotta take it and move on, man. All right, this is Jack Pembroke. All right. I tested. Oh, dude, Temu is the best. I've ordered stuff from Temu. I have like I've only I remember when I got turned on to Temu. Like it was my like I had a friend like, hey, if I recommend you, I get like 20% off or something. So like I went on there. I ordered like $20 worth of stuff. All of it broke within a month. The only thing I have that's left is like a keychain. That, and like I think I had like, and even that has broken like twice because it's kind of cheap, but it still works because I can fix it. Bro, people go to court for the pettiest thing, and dude, yeah. Honestly, I remember when a guy went to court over an 11-inch sub from Subway. I think he won too, which was actually insane. Yeah. So, yeah, Temu has, like, some of the worst products I've ever seen. Did you hear about Cardi B? Alright, you know what? I'm curious. You piqued my interest. Oh, why do I desperately need a new, why is caps... I hate caps lock so much. I'm not in game. Court case. Cardi B. Cardi B testifies that she didn't... No way. Which one is your real hair? Why Cardi B's wigs and nails baffled lawyers in court? Oh my god. What is Cardi B on trial for? Rapper goes viral for testimony. You know what? It's worth... okay, you know what? That sounds interesting enough to watch. It's a React day. I can do whatever the hell I want. Cardi B trial. Cardi B testifies. I'm not watching a 3-hour video. 50 minutes. Is there anything shorter? Cardi B makes courtroom laugh. Okay, maybe.
Do you prefer I call you Miss Almanzar, Cardi B, or it doesn't matter?
I mean, you can call me Cardi B.
Yesterday you had black hair, short hair. Today it's blonde and long. Which one is your real hair?
They're wigs.
Do you know what's discovery?
Yes.
What are form interrogatories?
Honey, I don't know what that means.
What is special interrogatory?
I do not know.
What are requests for admissions?
Why is this man asking Cardi B about
You don't
lawyer
know,
stuff?
right?
I've like this. Isn't
Is
she?
that fair? You don't know.
Like this is the girl that rapped about wet ass.
Verbal
You
altercation.
know. Why is
We
this
haven't-
lawyer
we'll see.
asking her
We'll
if she
debate.
knows what any of this means?
Do you prefer I call you Miss Almanzar?
Like, I'm not going crazy, right? Like, what was his like? Okay, there's got to be more to this. Like, that was like a 50-second clip, right? Receptionist details breaking up Cardi B ex security guard. Dude, that's insane. Like, dude. All right, I'll watch it on here.
Are you disabled? Yes or no?
At that moment, when you're pregnant, I'm very disabled.
All right, yeah, I can find it off of that. Yeah, all right, there it is. It should show up now. It should. If there were shorts. I mean, come on. This case was like from 5 years ago. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Dang, that was peak 2022. Alright, yeah, I'm not... Dude, nothing brings me, like, the Amber Heard trial was the funniest thing ever. Like, this is just what it kind of reminded me of. Oh, man, when Disney had to eat, like, had to eat shit because Johnny Depp was proven to be innocent was the greatest moment in, like, pop culture history of, like, the past, 5 years. Because I think, like, Disney fired him from, like, Pirates of the Caribbean, and then, like, what was it, like, the Fantastic Beasts franchise kicked him out, and then it was proven he was innocent. So I think he like, counters, or I don't exactly remember what he'd do. But, like, I think they had to pay, or, like, not pay him, but, like, jeez, Cardi B. Ah, here it is.
Are you disabled? Yes or no?
At that moment, when you're pregnant, I'm very disabled. You want me to tell you the things I can't do?
Fine. What was, and if you wanted to scratch or cut her face with your right hand or your left hand, if you wanted to do it, you could have done it, correct? So
But
you're
I
not
didn't.
disabled.
But
right?
I didn't because I had a baby inside me.
How do you having a verbal altercation?
We having, I'll say, a debate.
Yesterday you had black hair, short hair. Today it's blonde and long. Which one is your real hair? Or are they both real?
They're wigs. But she is like security heavy.
What does security heavy mean?
Like she just looks a little like she could protect the building. She just
Right.
look more developed than me.
Are you disabled? Yes or no?
At that
Oh no, I did not mean to watch that. Okay. That lawyer's not dude, I remember the lawyer for Amber Heard. Oh my god, that lawyer was so bad. I think she was like, what? Okay, now we just gotta look up that, okay? We're going off into a rabbit hole, but honestly, I don't even care. I'm not built as somebody who could protect a building. Okay, what I was trying to think of something. Yeah, okay. Lawyer. Yeah, oh, this one, bro. Oh my god. This clip is always makes me laugh. Mm-hmm. I don't understand this. I remember watching this and thinking, this lady is so bad. How is she a lawyer? Oh my god, I forgot.
Welcome to speculate. I could see the same thing, but
That's on me.
And what do you do for a living?
I produce
See, I still do
esports
that.
events.
I still mess up on stream
No,
sometimes. I'm trying to get better at that,
If
but
you don't have information that's helpful to this case, then you wouldn't
all
be a
right,
witness.
this
correct?
clip.
Okay, you know this. You know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in the target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here. Though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
A little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh, hardly. I find that to be purely logical. Thank you.
Now, are you aware that Mr. Depp's attorneys were well aware of the TRO that was going to be?
You could tell everybody in that courtroom wanted to laugh but knew they couldn't. But like, okay, that wasn't. Where was that clip? Cause like I think like where was it? Let's see, where is it? Yeah, there's that clip. Oh my, dude, SNL. I have not seen that. I don't really feel like. Where was it though? Like, there's that. Is it this one? Ah, yeah, this one. Okay, so she went on Good Morning America. And I'm gonna try to find the exact moment.
A Virginia jury's decision to side with Johnny Depp in his defamation lawsuit is drawing both condemnation and praise. The verdict came after 6 weeks of very dramatic testimony from both sides.
Okay, it was.
She claimed that he.
Oh, this dude. Okay, is it
that battle? So it should not have happened.
So I am a former NFL player, and after a hard loss, it's easy to wake up and point to the other side. Oftentimes, I realized the better thing to do was to look in the mirror. What mistakes did I make as a player? What mistakes did our coaching staff make? And then how can we improve from there? Do you feel like you guys made any mistakes along the way? Do you feel like Amber made a...
Dude, yeah, okay, to be fair, yes, the internet absolutely destroyed her, but she was really bad at her job. Like, honestly, if she was horrible at this trial. Like, there's not much you could do. To be fair, Amber was screwed from the beginning, no matter what lawyer she had. But, oh man, at that point, you just gotta think about retiring, because she got like, everybody was just clowning her the entire time. Like, you're horrible. Like, why are you even a lawyer? Alright, let's get to the next video. I tested ridiculous knockoff products. Jack Pimplet or whatever.
Bulletproof vest. And to see if it actually works, I'm gonna test it.
That's not
it's a good thing that's VFX.
And that's just one of many ridiculous knockoff products that I'll be testing. Because I want to know, are any of these knockoff products better than the real thing? Starting with our first product,
the Plus Pro Pro Max XXR Triple Proof Cell
Oh, I thought it was an actual
now, this phone case here
I was about to say, bro, you got a
anti-drop.
phone from Temu. That thing's... Oh my
Edgar,
god.
Who's definitely a real person. His phone dropped and was hit by a van, but thanks to this phone case, his phone was intact. For $5, that seems a bit too good to be true, so we're gonna test it with my iPhone 15 Pro.
So I took my phone out of its original case. Now this knockoff phone case came with a little tool, which I had to use to unscrew a ton of these tiny little screws, which surprisingly took a long time. Then I put my phone into the case and screwed everything back together. Ladies and gentlemen,
5 minutes to put on a case?
anti-drop phone case.
That would be...
Rubber on this
I mean, yes,
thing,
it's like
bro.
5
This
minutes,
is
but still be
straight out
annoying.
the sweatshop. All right, so this is a 20-foot drop here. Let's see if it works. Wish me
okay.
luck, I guess. I don't know. You ready?
I'm
All right,
almost
3,
gonna guarantee it
2,
shatters.
1. All right, I'm coming down. Oh my god. Oh,
I'd honestly be shocked if that thing
okay.
ain't shattered. I'd be shocked.
Bro.
No way.
It's fine. Oh my god, look where it hit. I don't know how this thing survived, but if we want to test this to its full abilities, there's one more thing we have to test.
Okay, this is a little off topic, but I got a phone case off of Amazon because I thought it looked cool, and I thought, you know, it'd actually protect my phone. I dropped it like twice. Yeah, you have to unscrew a case. It has... Dude, yeah, so I dropped my phone like a couple of times, and after that, it's just gotten progressively worse. That's what the back of my phone looks like now. It is so bad now. Yeah, I dropped it like once, and then it cracked horribly. And then, ever since then, like, the slightest thing has just absolutely destroyed... Like, it's a horrible case. I didn't even... I'm still pissed about this. It's a horrible case. Is it the 13? Yeah. So I'm having to get a new phone because this thing broke from being dropped, and like it wasn't even a hard drop. I like okay, imagine it's like here and it dropped here. Like it wasn't even a far drop. It dropped from like my chest height to the ground. Maybe get a new back, dude. Yeah, maybe get a new back. You think this thing is gonna be fixed with a new back? Dude, I admire your enthusiasm, but there's nothing fixing this back, bro. Oh, man. This thing is royally screwed. Okay.
For you, Edgar. Oh, that sounded terrible. Yeah, it's my phone. It's done? All right, let's check it.
Yeah. Okay, well, you ran over it with a car.
Wait, that might just be on the case. No, wait. So we took off the case to find out for sure, and...
No way.
It worked.
You know what? I'm gonna order off Temu.
Holy that was scary. Shout out Edgar.
I dedicated to the Mini, bro. I'm telling you, that thing's so compacted.
Our next product is something you usually wouldn't want to buy.
Honestly, I've never been a fan of the Mini, just because, like, I guess I like having a bigger screen, because, like, 90% of what I use my phone for is, like, watching YouTube while I'm doing something, or, like, listening to music, or watching a movie or something, like, while I'm, like, you know, doing something. Dude, yeah, honestly, I might get a Mini for, like, my next one, but for now, this is gonna have to do. Because it's not, like, completely broken, it just looks like... it looks like garbage.
Introducing the Temu gas mask. I'm stood here in front of a dumpster that I'll be climbing inside of while a smoke bomb goes off inside. We're gonna compare the Temu mask to
today.
The real
we're gonna be
deal,
testing mustard gas,
mask. We're gonna see which
and
of
we're
these
gonna use the
gas
Temu
masks
gas
allows me
mask.
to
Chat.
stay
Let's
inside
see
of that
how it
dumpster for
works.
longer. I suited up for battle, starting with the military grade gas mask.
Ready.
Military grade? I don't know. Would that even work? Oh, wait, yeah, it would. I'm an idiot. It's military grade. I thought he said Temu for some reason. Oh, he's only using a smoke bomb? Dude, that's not that bad. Dude, if you really want to do it, if you, like, you know,
oh my god,
use mustard gas. Mustard and tear gas. That's the only way to truly test it, man.
That smells so bad.
I don't trust gas masks. That's, I mean, it's... I guess the gas mask didn't work.
That's military grade? Yeah. Holy shit, dude. So with the military grade gas mask, I lasted 24 seconds.
I'm pretty sure gas masks are mainly meant for...
Dude, this thing looks
like,
10 times worse.
You know,
like...
what's it called? You know, like what, you know, mustard gas. I'm pretty sure that's what they're meant for. I don't think a smoke bomb does the same thing.
Subscribe?
Oh my god. Dude, yeah, it's just a smoke bomb. It's giving Chernobyl, that's fair. Dude, it's the smell. Like if you used an odorless gas, it'd be much different.
Oh my gosh. Well, we reviewed the footage. Using the Temu gas mask, I was able to stay in the dumpster
That's
for
not a fair
49
comparison.
seconds. Temu gas mask, ironically, it's gas. Next up.
Dude, it's just the smell. Like a smoke grenade does nothing except smell really bad. It's not like gas masks are meant to filter out like toxic gas, like, you know, gas leaks, and like, you know, I keep saying it, but mustard gas. It's not meant for a smoke grenade or whatever. I think a stink bomb is what he used. So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna discount that one. That's not a real. I don't trust that review, chat. I don't.
Got ourselves an inflatable knockoff life jacket. Now the real ones of these
She's
go
gonna
through
drown.
vigorous testing and cost quite a pretty penny. Now this one we're testing here
Buddy,
costs just $7.
go to Walmart.
And I'm honestly
like
curious
they're
to
like
see
20
if
bucks.
in a real life circumstance this thing could actually save your life. Temu life vest. Ready?
Ready.
All right.
Pull it.
3, 2, 1. I'm floating with ease. The Temu Life Vest actually works. This product is gas. This next product is a knockoff of a product that was banned across America, the world's spiciest chip. The real version
It
of
was
this
not.
product was once in 7-Elevens across America.
Okay, that was not banned. I don't think. Let's go. No. What's it called? The Reaper chip, right? Yeah. See, you can still buy it. Oh, it's on eBay. I can still buy it. I might do that as a challenge. I don't even care if it's banned. But yeah, so I might do that as a challenge for one, like as like a punishment if I like for a challenge or something. I don't know. Eventually I'll do it anyway, but I want to try that. But okay, so I'm not saying that all Temu products are bad, but I've had some and they break after like a week or two. So if you keep using them, they will 100% break. I don't know if this guy, like, using it once is not like a real test, but I will say maybe the phone case was decent.
Until somebody decided to eat one of these and they died. They died, I swear to God. Lucky for me, not only was I able to get my hands on the real
Rep
product,
Joe Bart, I guess he
but
actually did die.
I was able to
during
get
the
my hands
challenge.
on its knockoff, the Red Hot Reaper Chip Challenge. We're gonna compare these two and decide once and for all which one of these is the world's hottest chip. Both chips are now in front of me. The one on the left is the real one and the one on the right is the knockoff one. I will say the knockoff one looks similar to like a Dorito, which gives me hope. The one on the left, on the other hand, that's like pitch black, bro. No chip should be that color. I have a jug of milk here in case everything goes wrong. I'm gonna start with the knockoff. This is the Red Hot Reaper Chip Challenge. Lock in, baby. All right, 3, 2, 1. Spicy.
Dude, I'll tell you from experience, it hits you after a second. I haven't had the chip, but I've had like really spicy food before. It gets the intensity gets worse after a minute or two, and then it just doesn't stop.
I'm gonna have to go for
And in
another
his
one.
case, I'm guessing it's getting worse and worse.
Now it's time to compare that to the real one. 3, 2.
So I'm guessing that chip wasn't that bad.
1.
Oh, dude, the real one is so much worse. He's gonna be dying, bro.
Holy it's way worse. No, stop, bro. I'm not stop.
Dude, the bad thing is, you can't even throw up. Cause like, it will actually burn your throat. I think I've heard, like, it is dangerous to throw the chip up. Like, actually. That is the worst part of it. So, you'll want to throw up, but I think it's, like, recommended that you cannot or shouldn't. But if you're, like, I guess forced to, it's gonna be so much worse. You gotta drink so much milk. So, yeah. I think, yeah, it would actually burn your throat if you...
Compare the fake one to the real one.
You
the
forcibly
knockoff
remove the chip.
is trash. For this next product, I'm gonna need you guys to close your eyes and picture this. Your car is upside down in a ditch, the doors won't open, the windows won't roll down, and your seatbelt is stuck around you. But luckily, that's when you realize you bought a window-breaking seatbelt cutter. Only, it's from Temu. Well, I want to see if this $2 emergency tool here can actually save your life. Luckily, we're here at a junkyard, so let's test it. New whip, who it is. First things first, we're gonna test the seatbelt cutter. It doesn't look very sharp.
Okay, the seatbelt cutter works. But for $2, I wouldn't trust it to work more than twice.
Oh! Yeah, baby! I don't know how that worked. Our testing is not concluded. This tool has two sides. The other side is a window breaker. We're gonna try to smash the window.
I'd genuinely be shocked if
right
that
there.
actually breaks.
3,
Nah, there's
2,
okay.
1.
Dude,
All right,
okay,
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
try
hit it a
one
bit
more
harder
time.
than that.
Bruh. I don't know if this thing works. All right, guys, well, there you have it. The Temu window breaker will not save your life. This product is trash. Before we leave, there's one more product I was super curious to test. It's this scratch wax scratch repair. Apparently, you put this on your car, and according to the bottle, it takes full-on scratches out of a car. Now, for $3, I feel like
I've
that's
seen the
kind of hard to believe.
infomercials. I
So
don't
we'll see
think
if it
that's gonna
works.
work,
I don't
Chad.
have high
Straight
hopes for
up.
this. I'm gonna cosplay an ex-girlfriend, put some scratches on this puppy. All right. I've never done that. That felt cool. We gotta do that more often. Now I put a little bit of this on. There's our scratch repair. I'm just gonna rub it on there.
It's still there.
This scratch wax doesn't work whatsoever. So this product is
It's given the
unfortunately
toothpaste on the CD box,
Next up is a
straight
product
up.
that could save men around the world hundreds of dollars. This right here is the most expensive cologne on the market, Dior Sauvage, and it goes for a absolutely ridiculous price of $135 a bottle. Now I'm a firm believer that all
Bruh,
cologne is
just
more
use
or less
Axe
the
body
same,
spray.
and this
It's like, you know,
is a
it's
scam.
got the same
Now,
effect
before
on
you
women, I
keyboard warriors go
guarantee
to the
it.
comments, I'm gonna hopefully prove my point today by comparing this to its knockoff, Lior Salvas. Now here I have two of my closest friends. Cole here is wearing the $135 Dior Sauvage, and my buddy Grant here is wearing the $7 Lior Salvas. Now just outside, I have 4 girls lined up ready to smell each of these guys, and they're gonna decide which of these colognes they prefer. And by the end of our testing, we'll see once and for all if expensive cologne is actually worth the price. Let's get our girls. All right, you're coming up on 2 guys here. Lean in. Yeah, take your time, take your time. Really get a whiff. You feel good?
I feel great.
Your next guy is right here. Just whisper in my ear which one you like more. Okay. Number 2, one by one, I had these girls thoroughly sniffing and smelling. And the entire time I was tallying up each and every vote. The results are not what I was expecting. This is crazy. Girl after girl, I was starting to get just slightly nervous at which one of these would win. This last one is the deal breaker. I need this cheap one to win. I've been trying to prove this point for years.
Dude.
This is a passion project. As we were coming down to the wire,
Okay, well,
I had the last
I will say
girl
cologne is
sniff each of
overpriced,
these
but
guys. And finally, it was
cheap
time to
is
see
not
the
always better,
results.
I will say that.
Time to reveal
I mean,
our
not cheap-
results.
I mean,
Our
yeah,
Lior
obviously.
Salvas $7 bottle of cologne got 1 vote.
Yeah, dude,
Which means the
knockoff
real
products
one
are
got
never
3.
worth
The
it.
real
half
one
the-
wins.
I mean, maybe like 1 or 2 knockoff products are decent,
I
but
hate to say it, but Lior Salvas is trash. Our
Yeah.
next product is a knockoff Damascus steel knife. Now, Damascus knives are known for their handcrafted blades and insane cutting abilities. The real ones can go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars,
What?
so naturally, Temu brought it upon themselves to make their own version that cost just $8. I was able to get my hands on a real Damascus knife that was forged by hand, and we're gonna compare these 2 knives by cutting 3 levels of items. Now, while I cut all of these items, I'm gonna tell you guys about another product that I use and I love.
What the
Today's
hell?
sponsor, Odoo. Starting with the real
How did I
Damascus
start-
knife, I'm gonna attempt to cut
I'm sorry.
this piece
Somehow
of
my
paper, which is
phone
level
just started playing a show, because, you know, I hold my phone like this, and I guess my fingers are on the screen. So somehow I ended up playing something on Peacock. Mid-video. Somehow that happened. I was so
3,
confused, chat.
2, 1.
Well, yeah, it's
Whoa. It literally just cut like a perfect little chunk off the side here. Odoo is the easiest way to start an online business. Let's say I want to start a business selling my own knockoff products. All I have to do is pick a name for my company, provide some details, pick a fire color palette. You can customize the page however you want, add images, a description, and adjust the layout with content blocks. Now for level 2, a pineapple. Starting with the real Damascus knife.
Okay.
All right, now for the fake Damascus. Literally nothing on it, bro. Oh. It took multiple tries, but our fake Damascus here,
It's a knife. It's gonna cut through
So if you want a website that's this easy to set up and looks this beast mode, you can start one for free today. With Odoo, your first app is free for...
Yeah, there we go.
Woo! And finally, for the fake one. Bro.
It's a...
I'm no knife expert, but I guess this product is gas. Our next product is a knockoff of something I think we're all familiar with. Apple headphones.
Oh, dude, I've seen
first
glance,
these. This packaging here
Looks
pretty legit, but I can't
Any of
see
y'all ever actually buy these knockoff things? Because I feel like they're just gonna like they'll work for a day and then like the the right side will go out. And then immediately they'll stop charging and they'll be break within a week. That's how I always feel when I buy something like that. Because I just can't imagine. I can't imagine those working or being good for more than a day or two.
Single Apple logo on this box here. I caught these on Alibaba for $25, but I also borrowed a real pair for my friend that paid $400 for these. Let's see which one sounds better and if it's actually worth spending the extra $400.
Nah, bro, just get AirPods, bro. They cheap and they good. Like, I mean, not cheap, but they're like, you know, I've had a pair for like 3 years. Never had any issues with them.
I'd say slightly heavier, but these look pretty good. But the only thing that really matters is how do they sound? Okay, I don't even know how to use these things, bro. Hello? Dude, these have crazy sound canceling. We're gonna vibe to some outro copyright-free music. They sound amazing.
I remember,
not gonna lie.
dude, that was like on every YouTube video, bro.
Less comfortable.
Every
But
like
hey,
YouTube
let's see how
outro
they
from like
sound.
2010 to 2020, or like 2015 to 2020, I guess.
Okay. I don't know. You know what? They're not bad. To be honest, when you compare
what's up,
them to the
Andrew?
real ones, these suck. Personally, I'd rather pay $25 for these than $400.
Dude, I guarantee the $25 version's gonna break within a day.
For our next product test, you could say it's life or death. This is a Temu bulletproof vest. Now, this product has absolutely no
what am I
reviews
watching?
online,
It's,
so it's either so good that people couldn't
testing
find the words to
ridiculous
describe
knockoff
how
products.
amazing this product is, or everyone that bought this
So basically
is dead.
stuff from,
to
like,
find out the
Temu.
truth, we're gonna compare this one to
And
a
Etsy.
military-grade bulletproof vest that costs $350. All right, I don't know. We're gonna see if this thing can save a life. This is my boy Dylan. Everything here is done by trained professionals. See what we can make happen. You think the Temu one's gonna hold up at all?
No.
No shot. So first we decided to test the military grade real bulletproof vest. Yep. Oh.
Yeah, well,
Dude, that scared me.
Yeah,
I low-key flinch, bro.
the
Dude, that scared me,
$300
bro.
one is gonna hold up. Who's
Is
shocked?
that it? Did it stop it? It's that good?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
It's
There's barely
like
anything.
it's
There's
a
thread
mil. It's
hanging
$300.
loose now.
It's gonna save your life.
One works. And now that we had something to compare to,
Let's try
we
the
decided it
$10
was
one
time
for
to
Temu
test
then.
the Temu bulletproof vest. We're good.
All right.
Go for it. Did it go?
Did it?
Nah, this.
Oh my god.
It went right through.
Feel the bubble on this.
Wait.
Yeah, it stopped it.
What?
Oh my god.
Bro, Temu, bro.
No, I mean it's not as good as the other one. Like you can feel a bubble on the back, but for a
Okay, so if
knockoff
you get
bulletproof
shot in the
vest, I
same
don't
area
recommend you
or in the
buy
chest for
this
like 5
necessarily,
times,
but
it's
for this,
definitely gonna break through.
It's gas. Next
But
product.
it's $100.
I'll be honest,
That's
this
actually more than
one's
I thought it would
probably
spend.
better off without too many details. Check out the $15 bidet. For this one, I'm just gonna let the customers speak for themselves. Tanya McGee says,
Works great. I put it together myself. Hehe. Feeling fresh this heat wave. Thanks for letting us know, Tanya. Dean said, be careful how far you turn that knob. The water pressure is no joke. It's a little concerning. Now before this, I went to my friend Nick's house to test out a real bidet, so we had something to compare this one to. Oh! It's pretty good. And it was amazing. So now we're gonna compare that one to the Temu one. But first, we have to install it. I'll be honest, installing this thing was an absolute pain, but once it was finally all set up, this is what it looked like. The bidet is all set up. Feeling a little uneasy? Let's get pooping.
What'd you eat for dinner?
Panda Express. See you on the other side.
Okay, you know what?
As long as it doesn't
Even though he
hurt,
doesn't
I'm
show
fine.
anything, it's a
I'm
little
gonna be-
uncomfortable to watch. I'm just gonna skip.
By showing all of
I'm
these
just gonna
fire
skip that
haircuts
one.
these
That makes
puppies
me
can give you. And according to the photos, even Adam Levine uses these. But I'm gonna leave it to an actual professional to see if these clippers live up to the hype.
That's right. I'm gonna put it to the test.
I'm praying I don't look chopped after this. Well, let's test them.
Let's do it. Once I do it, either it'll rip your hair out and be caught, or it'll just smooth cut it.
I guess we'll find out.
Oh, you ready?
No. That looks good.
I kept your... They work good actually. They're not, they're not bad. Look how they cut your hair pretty nice.
Okay. I feel like it was good, though. I think they look a lot better.
For me professionally, I wouldn't buy them. For home use, I would.
This product is gas.
For
Thank you, Greg.
$10?
And finally, for our most illegal product yet, a fake government ID. Now I'm gonna attempt to go into this 7-Eleven and buy some alcohol with this here ID. Now you may be thinking, there's no way this is gonna work because I look nothing like McLovin. Well, guess what, haters? Now I do.
Real trap shit. We make it look easy.
McLovin, out. Wow, that was corny.
I kind of want to buy that now. Not for like what he's doing, but like I want that just for, just so I could have it.
Hello, sir. How's it going?
Get pulled over, give that to a cop, immediately get arrested.
Yeah.
That's it, brother?
That'll be it.
ID.
Oh, ID. There you go. Just going on a trip from Hawaii.
Oh my god.
It's not working, but that's me, McLovin. McLovin?
Brother,
Oh.
I'm not sell this, brother.
He's never seen Superbad?
But how can I have a lit night with my friends?
Brother, this ID is not scanned. So sorry.
Aw, donkey. I guess have a good night.
He's never
sir.
seen Superbad. That okay? That sucks. Dude, honestly, I would have kept doing this until I got somebody who actually knew Superbad.
I guess the fake ID is trash. Roll the outro music.
All right, that was fire. I'll give him that. Also, it's probably copyright music.
This is an
Oh, nah, that's not what I meant to do. Anyway, that was dub video. That was so stupid. Yeah, honestly, I would have kept going until I found like a cashier who actually knew it, and like, I get what he was going for, but I would have waited until somebody actually got it straight up, because that would have made the video. All right, let's go for this one. All right, the most evil YouTube downfall ever. He lost everything. Can I react to something? Maybe. It depends on what it, because like, some stuff I will react to if it's, if it's something but sometimes it's like really bad stuff that people recommend. So it just depends on what what it is, because sometimes it's like some chatters recommend some really bad stuff, and it's like, it's not good to react to, and it's just kind of boring. So it depends on what it is. If it's an interesting video, sure. Yeah. Alright, I will be right back. And, yeah, if you type in chat, I'll check it out, but I'll be right back. All right, first message back. That's what I see. I'm guessing you weren't expecting me to see that, but I was just gone for like a minute, bro. What? I just finished shitting. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. The most evil YouTube downfall ever. Internet anarchist. And if you want to recommend that video,
if you ever feel like you've hit rock
I might,
bottom,
I'll
just know
might
that
check
at
it out
least
after
you
this
aren't
one, so.
Brad Taste in music. This one tweet perfectly summarizes the historic downfall of Brad Taste in music. He went from being an internet lolcow with a passion for on-camera meltdowns.
I remember seeing Brad Taste. Where do I remember seeing him from?
It's hard. To a straight-up villain.
Stop being such a wimp. Look at me and accept what you have done to me. Did you see what I've become? Look at me in the eyes and say that again. Look at me.
What is this?
He verbally
The most.
abused.
It's like. Honestly, I don't even know who this is. I do remember hearing his name. What was it? Brad Taste in Music.
It's like every day.
I do remember hearing about him. I don't remember
It's
his
hard.
name.
To
Or
a
no, I don't-
straight-up
not-
villain.
No, I do remember his name. I don't remember where I remember him from. I don't know why I said
Look at
name.
me and accept
Dude,
what you
that, well,
have done to me.
pretty much. That's basically what the video's about. Is him going absolutely crazy.
Eyes and say that again. Look at me. Tell me.
He verbally abused his girlfriend Tina for years, got arrested
Brad Taste
for
in
it,
Music. Where
and
do I
all he
remember
had
that
to
guy
say
from?
in his defense was that he tends to, quote, get very loud.
Like, when I get very angry, or even excited, or just anything, like, I get very loud.
Well, he actually had quite a bit to say after the truth came out. Most of it, however, was just him trying to gaslight his audience into believing he was the real victim in all of this.
See, I'm really scared of her because she's smarter than me. When our relationship, like, I'm younger than her, and I never really had a strong foundation. Like,
Oh
at
my
home.
god, I know.
Unfortunately
Okay,
for
I do
Brad-
remember him. I remember him now. I was watching I remember this guy recommended to me. He was like, he had to watch. He did like a live stream, where he just kept on having to listen to, like, Imagine Dragons for like until, you know, because every like $5 donated, it would restart the song or something like that, or every donation. So. So he was like, it was like a 20, I don't remember how long it was, but I remember seeing that, and it was like a 10-hour long stream, and he just kept, and I didn't watch the whole thing, I just skipped to the back, but that's where I remember this guy from. That's like the only time I've ever watched him, because it was like, I think that went like ultra viral. Who is that guy? Yeah, I think he does like he's like a music YouTuber. Dude, he's ugly. That's so. Yeah, so he's like kind of Anthony Fantano-esque type of guy, but yeah, oh no, I didn't even do that. Yeah, so that's where I remember seeing him from. He used to do stuff like that.
Stories anymore.
I've never watched
I'm the
it again.
Internet
That's
Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries.
That's where I remember
and
him
today we're going over the catastrophic
I can find the
downfall
video.
of Brad's taste in music.
Well, he might have deleted it because his I think his entire channel might got deleted. Honestly, at this point. Brad taste in music. What was it? What's this song? No, it was like a live stream, right? This one. This is what I remember saying. Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Bradley. I have a Brad taste in music, and I did something really stupid, and I'm going to have to...
Okay. This got, this was like 6 hours of just him listening to the same song over and over again. That's what I remember him from. 6 hours of him just listening to the same Imagine Dragons song. You need a pickpocket compilation? Dude, what even is a pickpocket compilation? I gotta be... I do remember... Because I remember there was that, what was it, that person tried to pickpocket an American. Some people waste their lives like that. Honestly though, I think he actually made a lot of money off of it though. 6 hours, and they constantly restarting the song for $10. I mean, I would do that for $10. Well, I mean, I wouldn't do it for 6 hours, but if people kept donating $10. What was it, pickpocket compilation? Okay. Caught or compilation? I'll do compilation first. What's the worst thing you do for $10? For $10? Probably drink my own bathwater. If I had to pick something. But even then, I don't know. I think I'd throw up. Because I can't think of anything worse I'd do. I would take if you paid me $10 to take a sip of my own bathwater, I think I'd do it. Why is it all YouTube shorts? Some of them are, this one's a real video. We can do, pickpocket, what is it, caught? That might be something else. That's for... Oh, no, okay, that was, I guess we gotta do a compilation, but yeah. I do I remember seeing that that. I think that I think pickpockets in Europe are being told not to do it to Americans because we don't care and we will you're not stealing from me. What? Okay.
Get in.
I'll try out this video. Okay. I would drink my bro. What is that comment? You would drink your own piss for $10? Okay. Dude, yeah, okay, I can't even lie.
Get in.
Oh my, okay, yeah, no, I'm not... Let's try something more interesting. Pickpocket caught sounds a lot more interesting. Okay, I do remember this one. U.S. mom grabs pickpocket bite. You would do it too. I would not do it too. For $10? No, you gotta increase the price a little bit for me to even consider it. Good Samaritan tackles thief who attacked elder. That's not a pickpocket. I'm not okay. 40 minutes of catching pickpockets. There's only shorts, which kind of... Which one? The one with 1 million... This one? Or this one? There's a couple with 1 million views. Subway? Oh.
You want Boris? Yes. Merci.
Non, mais c'est bon.
Boris. Non, mais it's working for you. Boris.
Non, mais c'est bon, je veux dire pour.
Comment ça, c'est bon?
Voilà, c'est les jeunes, les jeunes. Je parlais pour les jeunes, je parlais pas. Non.
Yeah, it's France. What I mean, like straight up. Dude, she's tiny too. Dude, I don't understand how you could have confidence doing this if you're like that small, because if you get caught, you're like, and you like let's say you get caught and you picked with the wrong person, they're gonna absolutely just they're going to absolutely just, you know, like what's the word, like, you know, like the, what's a good example, like, or what's the word I'm looking for, they're like gonna just absolutely not stomp, like they're gonna, what's the word I'm looking for that won't get me banned? Like, I guess mollywop ain't the worst word, but, like, do it to, like, an American, like, you know, that lady from, like, what was it? Pickpocket, what was it? Mom or something? If I remember correctly. No, maybe not Moments. Maybe it was Ponytail, right? Yeah, this one. I don't know why they're blurring it, but yeah.
With my passport in it. Little girl, I have 8 kids. You're not getting to me.
Oh, she got, oh, bruh.
Call them.
This is the moment an irate U.S. tourist grabbed a teenage pick.
Dude, yeah, like, dude, if you're a, I've been told that that pickpockets have now been advised never to go at, never to go for Americans because we don't care. If you steal from me, I'd murk. Oh, that's the word. Yeah, okay, that's a great word. Murk. Yeah. So if they pick on the wrong person, they're gonna get murked one day. That was the word. That was the word. Okay. Yeah, cause like, I've heard that European pickpockets. What does murk mean? Like, I think it. I'm gonna look up the definition. Okay. I guess the slang meaning, because that's not what it means. That word, because I, yeah. So it means to unalive somebody really painfully. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So I've been told, apparently, pickpockets in Europe have now been advised never to go after Americans. Because they're gonna just, you know, we don't. Honestly, so yeah, it's.
Oh, he single-handedly ended his career through a string of controversies, and above all, his inability to admit fault or just shut up. And at this point, I doubt there's anything he can do to repair the damage that's already done. But there's one thing you can do right now that'll definitely help. Subscribe. So hit that subscribe button and let's get into the video.
Is this a bot?
Now, I already made a video about Brad back in October of 2024, going over the many controversies that were ruining his career and by extension, his life at the time. But if you haven't seen that video, here's a super fast recap to get you up to speed. Bradley Lemon, better known as Brad Taste in Music, started his YouTube journey in April of 2018.
Yeah, dude, I don't respond to people like that. Like, few years, what do you mean your headphones aren't working? Like, can't you just turn up the volume?
has managed to build a fairly successful career for himself as a music reviewer. At one point, he was charging up to $400 from fans for album review requests. But then he let the fame and fortune get to his head, got addicted to weed, and it was all downhill from there. From publicly promoting and defending a YouTuber with takes as horrendous as "consent is stupid, grape is natural and necessary for a happy and healthy society," to scamming his own editor out of hundreds of dollars, and then freaking out on stream for seemingly no reason.
I under no circumstance can
Bro,
listen to this album right now because I am not safe in my own home, and I really can't describe much else.
Gee,
the last time I talked about him, he was showing signs of progress and even revealed that he was going to rehab to improve his situation.
Letting you know that I am going to rehab. Yep, about 2 months. It's intensive outpatient care.
This was a step in the right direction, so I ended the video by wishing him luck. So here's to hoping he completes rehab, takes time for his mental health, and returns to a better man. Unfortunately, no one, including myself, could have predicted just how insane Brad's downfall would get. Now, things actually started off okay, with him actually completing his rehab program and returning to making his usual content. The fans couldn't have been happier, with comments like "rehabilitated taste in music, happy for him," and "yay, one of my favorite YouTubers got me into reviewing music, glad to see it." But then, in March of this year, he disappeared from YouTube completely, practically out of nowhere. Fast forward to July 24th, 2025, and he returned with a video simply titled SI, referring to the mental health term ideations. This was a bit worrying at a first glance. However, the video actually started off on a fairly positive note, with Brad coming to terms with his downfall.
For some reason, like 11 months ago when like everything went down with my channel, I've just been like contemplating the perfect video, you know, that'll fix it all. I'll just say the right words and everything will go back to normal.
I think, did he delete this
I
video?
have learned since then that is not reality. And I don't want it to be reality.
But then he started explaining what was going on behind the scenes, and things fell apart quickly. A few minutes into the video, he began trash talking his ex-fiancée Tina, how she made the situation even worse by apparently getting mad at him for not resolving the controversies more quickly.
I think he deleted the
stressing
video.
him even more than he already was.
Like doing a stream, and then I left.
I don't
to go to
see
the kitchen.
anything on his
I see
channel
her sitting on the couch,
at
like
all.
screaming and crying. And I'm pissed off because like I'm trying to focus to get work done.
He also accused her of secretly recording one of their arguments, which he felt was highly immoral.
I was fucking pissed. I was just like mad because I'm trying to fucking figure everything out in like an impossible situation. You know, trying to get things back to normal so that like we could live a normal fucking life. And she repays me by recording me in my house without my knowledge. She sends it to my parents. She sends it to friends. She sends it to people who are associated with Hive Mind.
He ended this segment about Tina by disclosing that she apparently called the cops on him and got him arrested for domestic violence, when all he wanted was to end the relationship and to make her leave.
I pay the bills for this entire place. You know, like I'm keeping it up. You don't contribute shit to the equation. Get out. She calls the cops on me, and they have me arrested for domestic.
Now, Brad was likely hoping to farm sympathy points with this video. Why else would he share such a massive part of his private life that no one was asking him about? His relationship was a thing of the past. The viewers had moved on by this point. Even if we give him the benefit of doubt, this was still a case of extreme oversharing with the internet, and maybe Brad would have actually received the sympathy he was looking for, if not for the fact that his entire story was manipulated to throw all of the blame on Tina and make himself look like the ultimate victim. Something about this video felt disingenuous, especially when the true feelings slipped out, like when he insinuated that getting disowned by Hive Mind, a music YouTube channel he collaborated with, after Tina sent them the recordings, was worse than losing his partner of 5 years.
It's one thing like losing your partner. It's another thing like with losing Hive Mind.
This hinted at the possibility that he never truly cared about Tina in the first place, which in turn called his entire story into question. Luckily, fans didn't have to wait long to hear the other side of the story from Tina. A day later, Tina came forward on Twitter in a response
Discord
to
mod
this
is after
video,
you?
writing, "Might be time to deplatform my abuser." And
Well,
honestly, he's
you
doing a
can
pretty
step
good job of
outside. That's an
deplatforming
option.
himself. In other words, Tina essentially accused Brad of being the abuser instead of the victim he was making himself out to be. Later the same day, she came out with a much more detailed thread going over her experience and why she stayed quiet all this time.
Maria, I don't think you're an actual bot, but I don't want to reply in chat, and I don't really know what exactly you're trying to get me to do, so I'm not going to. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you're trying to, you know. Maria, we know what you are.
Stating, "I'm sifting through the
Yeah,
main
get her,
notes,
chat.
audio recordings, and screenshots I have dating back to
I don't understand why you want me to text
I'm
in
not
chat,
sure
like,
how
what's
much
that
I
about?
want to share, if any. Please understand, I spent 5 years with this
if
person,
you can tell me
and he was
why.
paying me to work with / for him for less than 2 years of that. I do
I'll,
not want him to hurt
I'm
himself,
curious, why do you want
and
me to
I do
text
not
in
want to
chat?
get
That-
into
that
legal
doesn't make
trouble.
sense to me.
I have been silent for the past year because I wanted to see him get..."
Okay, now I'm like heavily I want to see what she says now. I'm heavily invested. She's a graphic. Okay, yep. Okay, never mind.
It's better. And I
graphic
desperately
designer,
wanted
okay.
to move forward with my life after spending half of my 20s being abused. It's clear he still wants to punish me for the consequences of his own actions.
Yeah, okay.
This is not a new thing for me, as he did that the entire length of our relationship. After almost
audio
6
doesn't
years of
work,
trying
really.
my hardest to
I'm
protect
pretty
him,
sure your
despite
your
the
audio
abuse,
can
I just
work
don't have
if
it
you
in
just,
me
you know,
anymore. I am
hit
not
the
a
volume
public
button.
person,
Even if your
never
headphones
have
don't
been.
work, just
I'm trying to handle things in the
unplug it.
best way that I can. Right now, I just need time to figure out the best way to move forward. I don't have anything compiled or prepared because revisiting it is incredibly triggering. But
I think
she
we
went
pissed
through a
off
lot
Maria,
and
guys.
was-
I think she's mad. You can't see her messages.
still on the fence about taking part in a drama about a relationship she escaped months ago. The internet, on the other hand, was quick to make a decision. Given the strange tone of
Dude, I
Brad's
don't understand
video
why you can't
and
see
his
chat. It
previous
should be
actions,
scrolling.
many believed that Tina was the one telling the truth, resulting in
Yeah,
over-
like there's more people chatting. I don't know what's wrong like with your Twitch, bro. Like, cause I can see like I can go on Twitch right now and I can like it might just be yours, bro. It might be something
overwhelming
wrong with
support
your,
for her,
Twitch.
and just as intense backlash for Brad. A big part of this also stemmed from his own fans
like-
who'd seen Tina in the background
Yeah,
of his
even on here,
content
it's fine.
countless times, recognizing that she was far from the bad person Brad was making her out to be. With one such comment on Reddit stating, "We really went from Brad being an up-and-coming reviewer with a unique persona and good audience engagement on stream, to him
I'm
being
scared.
a
Can you give
domestic
me money?
abuser lolcow. This is somehow a little bit worse if you've watched his content in the past. Tina, his now ex, was legitimately one of the most supportive people I've ever seen.
Bro,
ever.
you might just
She'd
need to
help him
reload
out
your
on
Twitch,
stream,
honestly.
talk to chat, bring him
If
food,
it's not showing any of
managed
the
his
messages.
socials for a while during / after he got hacked, and defended him tooth and nail in her personal account many times. It was beyond a, "oh, he's my partner and I got to support him" thing. She actually did
I have
everything
no idea
in
what's
her
going on in
power
that
to
video essay. Oh yeah, I kind of got distracted and started, we started like I think Maria's gone. I think she if you feel inclined to follow me, that's up to you. But I think if you have no, yeah, so I think I got into we bullied Maria a little bit cuz she obviously just wanted to sell me something. So so this is like about Brad tasted music and about how he, I guess destroyed his own career, which is kind of on him. He it takes very little effort not to destroy your own career. Just don't be a dumbass. That's like my main philosophy. Don't be abusive, don't be into kids, and just don't be a generally horrible person. That's about it. Oh, Maria's still here. Still giving us the middle finger. So, like that's like the only oh, you're a genuinely horrible person. All right, so Maria's dude, I want to. Every time I try to get back into the video, Maria pops up, and I'm just like, it just makes me laugh because, like,
to make things better and
so yeah, that's what
easier
it's
for
about.
him.
It's about a guy who destroyed his own like YouTube channel and career, basically.
Can't imagine what the F he was thinking when doing all of this. He was even dropped by his label Flex Entertainment on the same day. This only added more fuel to the fire, burning a hole through Brad's reputation. After all, why would a company remove one of its biggest money makers if he was innocent? Surprisingly, Brad's reaction to all of this was far more level-headed than anyone would have expected, or at least that's how it started out, and then became progressively worse with each passing day. On the 27th of July, he uploaded a new video titled Just 2. This was a direct follow-up to his SI video, and while he didn't address the allegations directly,
Maria's actually
he did
crashing
admit
out
that
now.
his previous video was terrible in all regards.
I released a video a few days ago, and it was something that was called SI, and it was supposed to be talking about my experience with, you know, battling through all this mental health shit for the last year, and it was
Yeah, I think it'd be more threatening if there wasn't like 3 misspellings in the entire sentence. Yeah. All right, Maria's. I think, guys. I think we upset. I think Maria's. I think Maria's a little angry. Can you?
was a fucking terrible idea. The video ended up being extremely exploitative of my ex.
He also apologized to his audience and announced a year-long break away from the internet.
I am going to disappear for a year, and see around this time next year if I'm ready to try again. Because I'm clearly not ready for this, and I am rightfully being called out for honestly just terrible behavior, extremely irresponsible behavior. And I'd like to give just a, I would like to just say sorry.
Now, Tina never liked the idea of opening herself up to the internet in the first place. She just wanted to move on with her life, as evident from her next couple of tweets, reading, "I've decided that I'm not going to speak publicly on the Brad situation beyond these tweets. I just want to close this chapter and move on with my life. The only thing I want to clarify based on things I've seen being discussed is that he never hit me or physically abused me, and I'm going to continue silently rooting for his rehabilitation and working on healing the wounds that this whole recent situation reopened. Thanks again for all the support and kindness." And as much as the internet might have wanted to make Brad pay for whatever wrong he did in their relationship, it was ultimately Tina's decision to pursue that outcome or not. So had things ended here, the controversy likely would have blown over in days. But knowing Brad, that was never going to happen. He has a habit of continuing to make things worse for himself. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did this time around as well. His year-long break didn't even last 10 days. He was back to streaming and making videos on August 4th, and not with his usual content involving reviewing music. Instead, this one was a 50-minute freestyle rap session about how horrible Tina was.
Thanks for the follow, Stream Market. Or Stream Market. Oh wait, no, that's all that says. Streams make me. What is that user? Okay, I thought that said Stream Makers or something. Stream make me stream.
He likely saw Tina back down and interpreted her patience as cowardice, giving him the confidence to come back just to mock and belittle her further. But this was a step too far, and the viewers were having none of it. Man made a 50-minute diss track on a woman he abused. What the actual F? Now he's in the career nerfing stage. This guy is far gone from getting help. I'm sick to my stomach that I was a fan of this guy. The backlash was intense enough that he went back to his default setting of looking miserable and gaslighting his audience. On August 5th, he uploaded yet another video titled My Statement, trying to explain his side of the story once again. And just like before, it was filled with nothing more than lies and gaslighting, with him literally opening the video with his victimhood complex.
So, let me start this very dramatic speech by saying...
Bro, you know what's weird? If he just shut up and moved past this, there'd literally be no controversy. Like, every single time. I feel like that's, like, a huge point that most people miss. Like, make an apology video and then move on and don't mention it ever again. And most of the time, you'll rebound. Like, I don't know if y'all have seen that. I mean, it went ultra viral. The Coldplay concert, where those two people were found cheating. And then what was it called? They got shown on, like, the big, like, camera or whatever it's called, like the spotlight or whatever, and they immediately, like, made a big deal about it. If they didn't do that, nobody would have seen it. That's what I feel like is happening here. He just can't let it go. If he did that, nobody would care. But, like those people, like, absolutely freaked out, went viral on everywhere, and then I think they got, like, divorced or something. I don't really remember what happened after that, but it was hilarious.
Week or two, I haven't even been keeping track. The last week or two, it's really hurt.
This was also the video where Brad dropped the mask entirely and then tried to justify his verbal abuse by, get this, claiming that he's just a naturally loud person.
Like, when I get very angry or even excited or just anything, like, I get very loud. Like, I use my voice and the volume of it to really express it. So basically, for me though, like, my
Irish?
family, everyone I've been
I'm
around
probably
my
a
whole
little
life
bit of
is loud.
I'm probably
they
a little
talk
Irish,
over each
but
other.
no.
They yell at each other, but they never mean anything
Not
bad by
mostly.
it. So I never really saw anything wrong with it. They're just trying to be heard and get their point across and, you know, show their emotions.
Guess what I am?
And so
I'm
that's
gonna go
like
off
me.
profile picture here. Let's go off profile picture. Is that the guy from Victorious? That's what. Yeah. And yours is a. Okay, I can't even tell what that is, but that looks like that's that.
When I'm yelling,
Fed
my
up with
profile
his
picture
BS
doesn't
and
tell you
constant
much.
narrative
Hey,
twisting,
neither does
Tina
mine.
finally made the tough decision to go full scorched earth on Brad. So on August 6th, she gave the YouTuber, the Op Block, full permission to release the recordings of the incident that led to Brad's arrest. And
Honestly, it's
they
like
were
very
far
small,
worse than anyone
but
could have
it-
imagined. But before we get into the actual
It
recording,
looks like a old. It looks like an. That's either a K-pop star or honestly, I don't even know. I cannot see it that well. I'd have to, like, blow it up, and I can't really see that. And I have no what. Abru, I like you. Do you relation? Is Maria trying to flirt now? Maria's trying to flirt in chat.
there's some important context we have to understand. First of which is that this incident took place not long after the controversy about Brad essentially scamming his editor, which is why Brad tried to present Tina as the abuser by accusing her of stressing him out and making his already tough situation worse. Secondly, Tina made two recordings.
You
one
know what?
of the incident
I'm
that
rooting for
led
you
up to
too.
his
You know what?
arrest, and another
I
of the
ordained this
events leading up
relationship.
to it.
You
And
two
to
are
say
made
that
for
Brad
each other.
sounds like an unhinged maniac in both would be a severe understatement. Before we go any further, I just want to give a quick trigger warning to anyone sensitive to yelling and verbal abuse. From here on,
You threatened to break into my home? Dude, hey, that just means she's, like, really into you, man. That's not that bad. I think y'all, that's not that
the video
bad.
does get quite disturbing. It starts with Tina trying to groom her two dogs, when, out of nowhere, Brad starts pestering her about what she was thinking.
My own head. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
Literally just while I'm brushing my dogs, I'm just thinking, and you are asking me what I'm thinking about and not letting me not tell you. You are not letting me have privacy in my own.
And as she refuses to engage in his nonsensical hang-ups, Brad begins freaking out and yelling at her, calling her all sorts of names and practicing every single gaslighting technique in his arsenal.
So if you say something to me, if I say something...
No, if you want to be
Oh,
combative...
you all heard that? That's on my other monitor. I have an extension into place where, like, when I open a new tab, that's what it sounds like.
We can continue being combative because
I didn't know y'all could
we're
hear
not
that on
paying
my
enough
actual
attention
stream.
to
That's
this
interesting.
I'm just trying to understand. So if
How
I...
about you stop doing what you're doing with the dogs, look at me in the eyes, and just tell me the truth, Tina?
The truth he's talking about here is literally nothing. It's not like Tina was hiding some big secret from him that he had to know. But even if she was, his behavior from here on would still be classified as completely appalling.
Without being a sarcastic bitch, look at me in the eyes and tell me the truth.
With him threatening to call the cops and to make up lies to get her removed from the home they have a shared lease on.
You can honest to God get the out of my house.
Both of our names are on the lease. So that's not going to happen. And also, you are not
I'm
entitled...
gonna call the police.
Yeah.
I will get you out of here.
Both
I
of
will make a story up. I will get you out of here,
Both
Tina.
of our names are on the lease, so you will not be doing that. And
I will say my partner has been emotionally abusive and I have asked her to leave many times. And despite the fact that I have no support system, she has refused to leave and has continued to emotionally abuse me.
And when Tina
Every time we get into the video, Maria just comes out of left field and throws us a curveball. What is that comment? Bro. Bro, what is my chat? Dude, the chat is just
down, he immediately switched back to gaslighting and started accusing her of acting like the criminal in true crime
okay, now the
videos.
chat's just looking like Tinder. Oh my god.
You're looking around looking for excuses, Tina. I literally am watching your body language.
I can't look in your
You
eyes.
look like one of those freaks on the fucking interrogation videos.
I can't look in your
Every single thing you're doing is full of shit. You're literally acting like the fucking criminals there, Tina. Like every action. I could record it. And it would be like, Tina's looking to the left while immediately, oh, he asks a question and her eyes are moving around as she's looking quickly for an answer.
trouble with eye
because she has no, you don't,
Yes,
Tina.
I do.
You are a lying, manipulative person.
However, all of this paled in comparison to the horror she went through in the
that man
second
is,
recording, just a while later.
That's like the right word to call that man. I don't know, like, what would you all call him? Because I think, piece of shit's probably right in the good, like, is a good indicator.
Damn right.
That's what I would say.
I can kick you the fuck out of here for what the fuck you've done to me. You've destroyed me.
Genuinely, this is a horrible person.
Stop lying to me for once. Look at me in the eyes and stop lying to me. Stop being such a wimp. Look at me and accept what you have done to me. Do you see what I've become?
Where Brad continued the trend of blaming her for everything wrong in his life.
You've killed me. You promised me everything. You lied to me.
Before turning into a cartoonishly evil villain.
Look at me in the eyes and stay there and get it. Look at me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me what the fuck you just said. Tell me.
And attempting to kick her out again.
Get out of my house. Get out of my fucking house.
Bro, I think they're having a... Are these... Yes. So I think from, like, okay, we've gotten a bit distracted from the video. But earlier it said, like, that she secretly recorded him. And this is that recording. And then she released it. And, like...
Don't.
These few minute-long recordings debunked every lie Brad had been spewing about Tina about his domestic violence arrest over the past couple of weeks. They were the final straw for the few fans who were still waiting for the full story. There was no justification for his behavior, and he knew this all too well. So, in a last-ditch effort to save some of his reputation, he uploaded another video titled Sorry. Now, at this stage, no amount of apologizing could fix the damage. Even then, him pulling out an apology ukulele would have been better than what we actually got. Despite everything that went down, despite everyone seeing his true
Bro, okay, where are you from? Okay, I think Maria's actually trying to.
And no one standing by
Maria's
his
actually
side,
trying to.
Brad
trying
still
to,
tried to play the victim card.
See, I'm really scared of her because she's smarter than me. When our relationship, like, I'm younger than her, and I never really had a strong foundation, like at home.
Right alongside
Colorado.
her mandatory tears to farm sympathy
Dude, are you a
from
Rockies
anyone
fan?
gullible
'Cause if
enough
so,
to
that
still
sucks.
believe him.
Getting a YouTube channel at like 17 years old and then becoming like
At least you
really
got,
big,
at
like,
least you
that,
got, you know,
fucks
the
with your
Nuggets.
head and your
That's
ego.
something.
And
Rockies
yeah,
baseball.
she was a victim of that, absolutely. And right now, she is getting the support that she deserves. And again, if you're just hate watching this, she is in a horrible situation right now.
Something I haven't
Nuggets or
mentioned till
basketball,
now
kids
is that starting with the SI video, Brad kept deleting everything he posted just hours later, and the sorry video was no different. Now, there were some rumors that his channel got hacked, especially since someone posted a Google Drive link on his community tab containing the two recordings right after. Though, it's also possible that this was the work of one of his moderators who still had access to the channel. In either case, one thing is super clear. No one likes Brad anymore. The little support he had left after the previous round of controversies is gone as well, replaced by mountains of hate from former fans who feel terrible for supporting an abuser in the past. The best course of action for Brad now would be to quit the internet and leave permanently. As a commenter puts it, is not sorry for anything he did. He's just sorry he got caught.
Dude, I
even
used
felt
to
remotely
smash
sorry,
Ultimate
he'd
Frisbee.
quit the
That
self-victimizing
was a weird way to say
app,
it.
leave her
I used to
alone
play Ultimate
already,
Frisbee
and
too.
just
That was-
abandon the internet altogether.
Honestly, it was one of the most fun things you
Otherwise,
could
he'll
do.
keep getting raked over the coals for the rest of his
Dude, yeah,
life.
there's no way
just
Maria
like
lives
Pirate
in
Software,
Colorado.
Who will never regain the support and trust
There's
he
just
once
no
had.
way.
Click the video on screen to find out more.
Like, there's just absolutely no way Maria lives in Colorado. Like, I think she's trying to just get your
Comedy
exact
movies have been-
location, bro. She's just trying to get your exact... No, that was the wrong... That was this video. Why did it skip? That's weird. Anyway, yeah, I think she's just trying to get your exact location so that she can actually break into your house. Remember, she threatened to do that. Okay. Dude, I wouldn't trust Maria at this point, bro. I wouldn't. Alright. The satisfying end of Pirate Software.
Pirate Software is what happens when you give someone with a massive ego a microphone and an audience. Not
Okay,
only does he
let's
have
see.
some of the worst takes the online gaming community has ever seen.
Oh shit, no, this is actually really dumb. It's used
Okay,
cars.
so I just got... Okay, should I allow that comment? She's basically asking you to screw her. You know what? I'll allow it. It's funny. It's funny enough for me to allow it. I don't care. It's
Salesman
so funny.
garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
He also seems deathly allergic to taking accountability.
Wants me to sit down, grovel on my knees and be like, I'm so sorry, Mr.
Alright.
Yamato. It was all my fault, the mage.
Even Dr. K, a professional psychiatrist, failed to make him realize his own arrogance.
I think sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things is misconstrued as arrogance or boasting, when in reality, I'm just trying to give context.
So that is the problem right there. So I want you to listen to this phrase. This gets misconstrued as arrogance, but in reality, it's this.
Yeah.
That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, I don't see it that way, but all right.
And the moment the internet saw his true colors, it was all downhill from there. Even then, the one thing he still had going for him was his technical prowess as an expert game developer and an elite hacker.
It was a lot. So after that, I ended up going to work for the United States Department of Energy because I'm a hacker, offensive security guy, and I hacked power plants for the federal government. And then I quit, and now I make video games on the internet. I've been doing this for a couple of years now.
Well, as it turns out, much of what he claimed might have either been a flat-out lie or, at best, an over-the-top exaggeration.
When Pirate Software told everyone that he worked on video games for 20 years, that he worked as a hacker, why did anyone believe him when this was what he was putting out? Why did it take this long for people to call him out for being a fraud when this is his magnum opus that took him 8 years? 8 years of perfecting your craft for something a middle schooler could make. This isn't the work of a
You found an
professional.
ant on your
This isn't even
toilet
the work
paper?
of an amateur. It's pathetic.
That's...
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I
Save
create
it.
weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we're revisiting the man who's currently going through one of the most spectacular downfalls in YouTube
Dude, I remember
history.
seeing Pirate Software though, like,
How
I think his streams were getting like 15,000 views, and he was doing like very well in clips in YouTube. And then like all of a sudden his streams went down to like 2,000 to 1,000 or something.
Everything is built
And
over
then-
the years is unraveling
and then, like,
right in
I didn't
front
even
of
know
his
why
eyes,
until, like,
and it's
and then
only
so I
getting
saw, like,
worse
his
with
video
each
on
passing
his,
day. Since
on his, I think, asinine take on like the stop shutting down games initiative or whatever it
while
was
being
called.
supremely arrogant is bad enough, Pirate Software
interesting.
might even get in legal trouble for
It sounds
defrauding
like
his
I have
audience. Now, I've already made a video going over
I
a
don't,
major
I just-
controversy
I have
that
a sore-
initiated
I'm not a
his
sore throat, I
downfall.
just-
But if you haven't watched that video yet or need a refresher, here's
I
a
guess
quick
that's just how I
recap to
sound.
get you up to speed. Pirate Software, aka
Not me.
Jason Thor
Sorry,
Hall,
I
is an
thought you were talking to
ex-Blizzard
me.
employee who, after allegedly working for the US government as a hacker for a bid, decided to develop his own video game in 2017 called Heartbound. He also started streaming his game progress on Twitch and uploading clips from those streams on YouTube Shorts. These shorts blew up big time, allowing him to gain millions of new subscribers on YouTube, over 80,000 paid subs on Twitch, and even break the Twitch hype train record 4 different times.
What
But then
the? Okay, now she's coming for me,
2025
guys.
rolled
Maria
around,
is
and
now
Thor managed to destroy
actively
the
threatening
goodwill
me.
the internet once had for him. First, by causing his friends to lose months of progress in a hardcore World of Warcraft game and refusing to take accountability.
Just wants me to sit down, grovel on my knees, and be like, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Yamato. It was all my fault, the mage."
And then, by taking a stance against the Stop Killing Games initiative, which would stop game publishers from killing games people had already paid for.
Oh shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit.
Yeah, Maria's
Not only
definitely
do I
a
not want
man.
to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
He misunderstood the whole movement on a fundamental level,
Maria
and then
is
used some
definitely
of
a
the
man behind
harshest
the screen.
language he's ever used to
100%.
speak up against it.
That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. No, eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I drop the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing.
His viewers were shocked at him blatantly rejecting something they thought was good. Thor, on the other hand, continued posting more videos doubling down on his take. But then, some of the biggest creators on the platform, like Charlie, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie, voiced their support for the initiative. This only made Thor look worse by comparison, making the whole internet, including his audience, turn against him. Now, Thor had a chance to retain some of the trust his viewers had in him, despite the overwhelming amount of backlash he was receiving. All he had to do was admit that he was wrong, but not only did he not do that, he stuck to his guns, regardless of how wrong he was. He was caught lying about his games getting review bombed because of the controversy, making him look even more pathetic than he already did. Now, at the end of my last video, I posed 2 possible futures for Thor. He could either admit that he was wrong and turn things around, or stay stubborn and turn into the perpetual lolcow of the internet. And from the looks of it, he's chosen the second option, which has has not only earned him more hate, but has prompted people to take a deeper look into his life, starting with his reputation as a master coder. And what they found was
Dude,
shocking
I will
to
say,
say the
anybody who
least.
says they're
It
a
started when a
hacker
YouTuber named Coding
like, has to
Jesus,
say that,
whose main
I don't-
content
I
is
would
him dissecting
automatically
people's
that
code and
disqualifies
pointing
them
out
from being
issues,
believed,
decided to
honestly.
review the code
I
for
would never
Heartbound
believe a
in
guy
a video
who literally
titled
says, "Yeah,
I
I'm a
reviewed
hacker."
Part Software's code, oh boy. And as you might be able to judge from the title,
Like,
he didn't really
come
have any
on,
good
man.
things to say about it, with him even going as far as to declare Thor's code to be worse than most entry-level interns.
Imagine removing all of these
Dude,
comments.
Coding Jesus, honestly,
Would
dude,
you, as a
that man,
newly added
I
game
wouldn't even,
developer
like,
to
yeah,
his
he
game
does
project,
look like
have
Jesus,
any
not
idea
even
that
gonna lie.
one is Shelly? You would have no idea. This
Oh,
would
dude,
never
you're a hacker?
ever be allowed in a
Can you get me
production
free
repository.
V-Bucks?
And I've been hinting, it's below what you'd expect of a bottom tier intern.
Thor, however, didn't appreciate the constructive criticism and handled this review in the only way he knows how to.
It's just another like YouTube grifter trying to fight for relevance, dude. It's all that shit
My
is.
favorite lolcow is...
All too common.
Isn't that
these
the
days.
OF
However,
model?
there was something Thor said that was uncharacteristically reasonable for him.
I'm almost
and
positive that's
actually
the
made
OF
some
model.
sense.
It's just a bunch of disingenuous arguments put up in bad faith, trying to make me look like a bad
Amberlin Reed.
programmer. And in reality, this guy has never used the engine that I'm working in, never used the language that I'm working with, and all of his points are moot as a result.
From an objective point of view, his reasoning here for why Coding Jesus wasn't able to understand his coding style, because he's not a game developer, seemed sound. That was until another YouTuber, Quinn Theo,
Oh, okay, no, wrong
decided to
person.
get Coding Jesus on a call
Wrong
and dissect
person.
Thor's
I was thinking about
arguments
somebody else.
together. They began by analyzing
No,
Thor's
okay,
comments
I know
about
who you're talking
Coding
about,
Jesus'
Amberlin Reed.
very first critique.
No, she's... Yeah, okay, I saw the video on that. Yeah, she started
With
a
Coding
weight loss
Jesus
journey and then
explaining how Thor
magically
doesn't
gained
use
like
a
200
very
pounds
basic
while doing
practice
it.
in his code that
And it
even
was
school-level
awful.
coders know how to use.
Manually setting all to 0 with 8 lines, those were set to 0 because it was ending the alarms. By setting them to 0, you're actually setting the alarm to off.
So what he's doing here is a classic example of deflection. He pretends the chatter asked, "Why do you set the alarms to 0?" instead of the question, which was, "Why don't you?"
What are you guys
iterate through
talking about?
in a
Honestly,
for
I have
loop?"
no idea
A for
anymore.
loop is a very basic
we've
coding
gone
construct.
so off the
If
rails
you're
with
iterating
Maria's
through a consecutive
comments.
set of
It's
numbers, you definitely
honestly
want to use
insane.
that. It's the perfect scenario for a for loop.
While also pointing out how he deflects from the real question whenever he doesn't know the answer.
But he pretends that he didn't understand the question and then tries to answer something else.
And in case you're not familiar with programming, a commenter summed up
Oh
Thor's
yeah,
flawed approach
they got
perfectly,
switched. I
stating,
wanted
"He's
to.
literally doing
I kind of realized that like it doesn't look that good on the side, so I tried to change it, but now I can't get it over to where like you can see the entire chat. But that looks like a decent spot, so I think it should be. It's on. It's
the
on the right.
equivalent of writing 2 plus 2 plus
Maybe it's
2 plus
switched
2
for me.
plus 2
I
plus
don't know,
2
it's on the other side
instead of
now.
writing 2 times 25. But that was just the tip of the iceberg, because while someone might argue that he simply misunderstood the criticism instead of purposefully deflecting
Yeah,
it,
okay, now-
that doesn't
now the entire
explain
chat
why he kept
is-
doing the
can be
same
seen. There you
thing
go.
over and
I
over
fixed it.
again.
SpriteSpark is not a magic number. It's a direct reference to an asset file called SpriteSpark. This is how GameMaker allows you to link sprites and other assets. When you want to use a sprite, sound, or other object, you
I
call
think-
it by
are
name.
you calling
This
me
is
stupid? No, I
disingenuous
think she
at
was.
best
I
and
think.
an obfuscation
I think they
tactic
would
at
call it.
worst,
I think
because
it was me.
As you
I
can
think
see
they were
here,
calling
there's a
me
lot of
stupid.
numbers here. It's very obvious when I'm talking about a magic number. I'm talking about things like 1, 0, 15, 270, 360. I'm not talking about what my mouse just happens to be highlighting, which is SPR Spark.
Almost as if it's a core part of the tactic he uses to sound more knowledgeable than he actually is.
He has this repeating theme where somebody gives him a question and then he pivots to something that somebody didn't even ask or address to try to get out of that question.
Something that becomes abruptly clear when he does address criticism directly and ends up being objectively wrong about everything he's saying.
Data types are not defined in GameMaker. You cannot define a Boolean. You can use 0, 1, or true, false at will. It doesn't do anything. None of this matters in this language.
The Boolean and the data types.
Okay.
So I'd like to interpret this in two ways, because what he could have been saying here when he says data types are not defined is that you can't create your own custom data types, which is indeed wrong. You can create structures in GameMaker. It's in the documentation. Search up structs and constructors. But maybe he wasn't referring to structs, maybe he was referring to booleans, which also just isn't true.
What's worse is that he could have easily avoided looking like a fool. All he had to do was actually
Can you
read
say
about
happy
the
birthday to Intac from... I'm not even sure what that comment says.
Programming language he claims to
Or
be
what
an
I'm suppo-
expert at.
He
You mean
makes
like
the claim
literally say it,
that
or
you can't define a boolean in GameMaker?
it's
because
not hard to read?
GameMaker
Can you say
itself
happy
doesn't
birthday
have
to
a native
Intact
Boolean type
from
in its scripting
P1
language. In other words,
Harmony?
it interprets reals as booleans. Now, to reconcile the fact that he used a boolean in his code with what he said, I decided to do what any developer would do, and that is I consulted the documentation. So if you go to data types in GameMaker, oh, look at that. You are also provided with constants, true and false, which can always be used in your code to
I'm
prevent any
looking that up.
issues.
I don't even know what
Should
that is.
the native Boolean type be defined later?
This can either be interpreted as Thor being incredibly lazy or just simply not knowing Booleans exist in the language he's using. Either way, it calls into question every claim Thor has ever made about his coding skills to this point. As a comment on YouTube eloquently puts it, someone please take the shovel away from Pirate Software. This man won't stop digging a hole for himself. But what's most concerning is Thor's inability to take any kind of criticism, even when it's valid. He set up a wall of denial in front of him and just disregards anyone that doesn't agree with him. That said, this next issue isn't something he can simply ignore, since he might even end up in court because of it. The bombshell dropped on July 5th, 2025,
I have no idea
when a
who
Twitter
either of
user
those
by the name
bands
of
are.
Guy made a wild accusation against Thor, stating, Pirate Software accidentally revealed his DMs with Kronos during the April 1st Twitch Giga Train, showing that they were boosting it to themselves. This is why the stream is
Like, the
unavailable
only
to
band
watch.
I kind of
The
know
Giga
is, like,
Train he's talking about here
BMS
is actually the
or whatever that one's
record-breaking
called.
Twitch hype train
The
Thor
one that
was
was, like,
able
really
to reach on
popular for a
April
bit.
1st, 2024. A hype train, for those who don't know, is a Twitch feature that gets activated when a streamer starts receiving a lot of donations or gifted subs in a very short span of time. It then continues leveling up if the donations keep coming in, and the more a hype train progresses, the more rewards the donors unlock, including special emojis and gifts that they can use, incentivizing them to keep spending their money. As we mentioned earlier, Thor had already broken multiple hype train records before. However, all of them paled in comparison to the hype train on April 1st, 2024, as it managed to reach past level 105. This was a big milestone in Thor's career. It made headlines and turned Thor into an even bigger name in the online gaming community. However, if what Guy was alleging on Twitter was true, it meant that this record wasn't as legitimate as it seemed. And the proof he presented was in the screenshot of the conversation Thor had with his head mod Kronos while his hype train was active. Right, let me know if you do. Bits is going to be the best way to do it due to the return if you need to save it. Bits rather than T3
should react
subs.
to them?
T3 subs might be
I'll
better,
check
don't
about
know.
after the video.
Bits is
I
82%
have no
return
idea
when
who
you
they
buy
are.
them in bulk.
I
Have you bought
don't
any yet?
doubt that
I've
their
done
music's pretty
100 tier 1 subs on my personal, ready to do 40 tier 3 subs on an alt. Can do bits instead or both. Did 50,000 bits at 20 seconds left. Okay, what is the alt account? Serendipitous Bean. Put simply, this seemed like Thor telling his own mod to donate from an alt account to artificially keep the hype train going, and even telling him to use bits since Twitch would only take an 18% cut from them. Now, it was still possible that some important missing context could give this conversation a completely different meaning. Unfortunately for Thor, someone uncovered the deleted Twitch VOD this screenshot was taken from, and Thor's reaction to it told his viewers everything they needed to know.
I wished I could place my head between them and go full burr mode and make...
What? What? What is this? Where is it? I'm gonna find this. I need to find your message. God damn it, click.
So he
Click
faked
your
his
garbage
own
machine.
hype. Dude.
What?
He faked his own hype train?
Who
I mean,
are you?
I don't doubt that other creators do it, but
Why are you like this? Number 420.
like, how much
Deleted.
money do you think he
Not
legitimately
only does it
makes from
prove
hype
that the
trains, though?
screenshot is real, viewers could also see how panicked Thor became when he saw it, and how
this
he
man cannot
immediately
avoid
switched to a
controversy
different
at
chat
all.
before actually finding and deleting the
10
text-to-speech
grand?
donation that
Honestly,
came
I
in.
would not be
Thor
shocked.
tried to deny any wrongdoing on Twitter, stating, Kronos used his own money to do this and asked if it was okay to do so. He wasn't paid for this or told to do it either. He's a grown man and can spend his money in whatever way he chooses. You can hate me all you like, but going after my staff is shit tier behavior. Even Kronos, his head moderator, came out with statements of his own denying the allegations. Reading, said this
So
before
I just looked
in
it up. For a level 100 hype train, which is supposedly what he got to, it would have been $500,000 in one shot. I mean, that's Okay, well, see, so he obviously artificially boosted it, but that's still an
January, during the
insane
World
amount
of
of money.
Warcraft drama, people contacted me and others about donating during the Hype Train record in 2024. This year, I did less from the main and I did some from an alt. Removal of the VOD was, if I recall correctly, to prevent people from harassing donators as before. And while these explanations from both Thor and Kronos were still a bit suspicious, they were enough to end the controversy before it got any worse. Or at least, that's likely what they thought would happen. But on July 20th, 2025, someone replied to Guy's original Twitter post with yet another screenshot, this one showing the exact messages attached to the donation Kronos made with his alt account, Serendipitous Bean. It reads, "In real life friend of Kronos and excited that they are now free from corporate. Love your stream and what you do for people here. There aren't many cool or supportive streamers left once they get big like this. Stay cool, bud, and tell Kronos that Ben sends their regards." In other words, Kronos pretended to be his own friends, likely to avoid any suspicions from chat. However, what made this truly weird was the fake reaction Thor had when this donation came in.
Serendipitous Bean with 50,000 bits said IRL friend of Kronos and excited that they are now free from corporate.
I know.
Love your stream and what you do for people.
Yeah, I
here.
think
there aren't many cool or
it's really
supportive
funny when
streamers
like
left once they get
it's
big
odd,
like this. Stay
looking
cool,
at it
bud,
now,
and
it's
tell
like it's
Kronos
obviously a
that Ben
fake
sends
chat.
their
But if
regards.
you don't,
I'm sorry you had to know Kronos in real life.
because most chatters are not like that whatsoever. I mean, we've had Maria in here for what, like an hour, and she's threatened to find three of, or at least two of us, and pretty much do the sideways tango. So most chatters are not like this. I'm not saying it like that doesn't happen, but I don't think that is just, it reeks of being fake, and I
Now, it's
don't
possible
mention
Kronos
Mario,
just
you'll
wanted to
summon her
hide
back.
his own identity to not receive hate for
I think
donating so
she
much.
finally left.
However, that just explains the
I'm
pretending
not
to
sure.
be his own friend part. It does not explain the shameless glazing that followed. Even if we ignore the actual message and just focus on the donation, it's still highly problematic. Not only did it manipulate the viewers into donating more by keeping the hype train alive, as Legal Mindset put it in his video, it could even bring some serious consequences for Thor, starting from Twitch itself.
So Kronos is the main moderator, and excited that they are free from corporate. Love your stream and what you do for the people here. There aren't many cooler supportive streamers left once they get big like this. Stay cool, bud, and tell Kronos that Ben sends their regards. So this person is clearly painting themselves as not Kronos, not the moderator, but a separate IRL friend of this moderator, which is extremely deceptive if you ask me.
Serendipitous Bean with 50,000 bits said IRL friend of Kronos and excited that they are now free from corporate. Love your stream and what you do for people here. There
Yeah,
are
I don't know.
supportive streamers left once
Maybe
they
it's
get big like
slow or
this. Stay cool,
something.
bud, and tell Kronos
Maybe
that Ben sends
maybe
their
it's a
regards.
bot. Like
sorry you had to know
they
Kronos
don't
in real life.
register it as an account or something.
Dude, this guy can't be real. This guy actually can't be real.
Thor has openly claimed plenty of times
What is
that he
this
hires and
Twitch
actually
drama,
pays
bruh?
all his mods.
Like, okay, so this guy was probably he was like an up and coming streamer. He was like in I think over 10 to 15,000 views per stream. And then in like the course of 3 months, it all came down because it was like he got in controversy after controversy, being on the wrong side of certain gaming movements, and then just obviously being kind of a bit of a douchebag. That's pretty much the sum of what Pirate Software is.
Not only do they have full-time pay, they're on salary, they also get full-time benefits too. Medical, dental, vision.
Dude, every single person that's come up, you called them ugly.
How this place stays cool.
So it wouldn't be difficult for Thor to
Alright,
reimburse
I'm
Kronos as part of his
I'm gonna
monthly
move chat
paycheck.
again,
Only
honestly, 'cause
now
I
it
just
could
don't
get him
like where it is.
suspended or even
Maybe I
kicked
can
off
move it,
Twitch
up
entirely. But that isn't even the worst
here,
of it.
or
According
no.
to Legal
Okay, I'm gonna move
Mindset,
it back.
this has also
I thought
opened
it would be
Thor
better
and his mod up to
over
facing
there, but
legal
I gotta figure out
repercussions
something
from the
else then if
federal
I'm gonna move
government
it.
as well.
So you need representation, omission, or practice
Whatever.
to mislead a customer. So the practice would be, hey, donating bits from the sock puppet account.
I
The
thought I could
consumer's
move
interpretation
chat and
is
be
reasonable
look
under
better
circumstances.
underneath
So
my
the
face
consumer
cam, but
is
it
thinking
looks
this is a
really
private
bad.
party. This is
So
somebody
I'm
else.
just gonna
This is
move it
not
back.
the mod. This is not pirate software. They're thinking, oh look, this person is extending the hype train.
All Twitch
And so
streamers are
because of
ugly.
that, because
Prove
that
me
misleading
wrong.
Representation that materially led others to donate more to keep.
Where is he? We'll watch the. All right. I present to you the evidence. Oh, come on. He doesn't look... Oh, come on, bro. He is... Dude, in terms of, like, Twitch streamers, he is... Come on. They're not,
Keep
bro.
it going. It's a very well-known thing in scams and cons. This is something that confidence men do. They get fake buyers to go out there and gin up interest so that people will buy stuff even though it's overpriced.
And if that wasn't enough, Thor and Twitch could also get trouble on a state level as well, based on Thor falsely advertising the success of his hype train.
So, Consumer Legal Remedies Act, California has that. And I mentioned California, by the way, because that's where Twitch is. So it'd be very reasonable if a California donor, if a California whale brought a claim against a California corporation in a California court against, Twitch and against, Mr. Pirate Software. But beyond that, there's California Business Code 17500, which leads to false or misleading statements or false or misleading advertisement. And this could be perceived as a falsely advertising that you're number one on the hype train, that you're this hype train leader, that you're this person that needs to be donated to keep this thing going to reach all these levels, when really most of those levels, or maybe a lot of those levels, some of those levels, were just artificially inflated by either Pirate Software's mod or these sock puppet accounts. I mean, who knows? We don't really have a full track on that yet.
But even if he manages to escape any direct repercussions, these controversies have only accelerated his downfall, with the number of people unsubscribing from his YouTube channel each month jumping from 100,000 plus when the Stop Killing Games controversy happened to over 200,000 after these new controversies came to light. It truly seems like Thor's reputation has reached a point where even if he apologizes now or tries to take accountability, it's pretty unlikely that he'll ever regain the audience he once had. But just when we thought he couldn't sink further, he somehow found a way. As I was making this video, Quinthea dropped another bombshell by interviewing Mr. Jason Thor Hall's ex-roommate, as well as the person who was in charge of his quality assurance work at Blizzard.
Hi, my name's Cynthia Hall. I go by Ludiana online. I am a lifelong artisan cosplayer. I worked for 5 years at Blizzard and then 8 years at
I'm curious, who does it remind you of?
I happen to work with Pirate Software at Blizzard as his wrangler on Diablo 3.
And what she had to say about Thor was shocking, but not all surprising at this point. According to Cynthia, Jason was straight up bad at his job. He would constantly slack off and browse Reddit all day, and even when he did work, Cynthia often had to come in and correct his mistakes.
So we're talking
now I'm curious.
All the boss testing, having to do all the smoke tests whenever they're running
whatever.
end to end.
If you don't want to say it's fine.
Run through to skeleton king kill. Like that's just testing the builds. Whatever the task was for the day, it could just be spawning different monsters and testing their affixes to see how they perform. That easy. But he would just kind of create a character and idle in the client and read Reddit. That's literally what he did. He sat in front of me and I was assigning the tasks. So not only did I see the work he was not doing, I saw what he was doing instead.
Worst of all, when Cynthia complained about his behavior to the higher-ups, nothing happened, simply because Thor's father was also quite high up in the company. The same father, mind you, whose birthday is not even an afterthought for Thor these days.
Birthday and you missed it? You didn't call me? Neither did your brother? You guys both ignored me for my birthday?
That isn't true. I sent you a text.
True. No, you did not.
Bullshit.
That was last year.
Bro.
Bullshit.
Okay. He said bro, you ignored me during my birthday. That's not true. I texted you. You didn't even call or FaceTime or send him a gift. Nothing. Like, oh, his defense was, I texted you? That is like one of the worst defense. That's like the worst defense I've ever heard in my life.
You sent me one last
year. I texted you, though.
I sent you one last year.
Like, dude, I'll text my friend on his birthday if, like, he's out of town.
Wow.
I'm definitely like going to like at least meeting up with him or
memorable
like
moments at
calling
the company
him or
also
like
included him yelling at his co-workers for
How does this man think that was okay
for a charity event.
I was on his team for a league tournament and he screamed at our team for apparently not gearing correctly to counter the other team because we were just that bad. I mean, it's not like we were losing so severely because we all played League regularly. It was not that big of a deal, and we were all sleep deprived. It was very early in the morning after an overnight of playing games, and we're like, seriously, dude, you are raging at everybody, like our entire team. He was just yelling across the floor at everybody.
It's a charity event, correct?
It was a children's charity event.
But all of that pales in comparison to what he was like
bro,
as
this
a
guy's
roommate.
never beaten the allegations, I swear, bro.
The dishes everywhere, like the pans still food.
That
in
is
them,
so
on the
bad.
stove, shit everywhere, food, countertops.
Dude, it's a children's charity, and this man's actually
complaining. It was
complaining.
very just a fucking mess.
Worst of all, when
Yeah,
he
it was a
eventually did to leave
children's
Cynthia's
charity event.
apartment,
He's getting
what
mad
she
he's not
found
winning.
in his room was nothing short of disgusting.
When he finally did move out, I wish I had save pictures of the state of his room. He had cleaned nothing, so I had to clean everything by hand. There was like, I don't know what on the walls in his bedroom, and you're just gonna have to like take my word for this. I don't know if it was snot or something else, just like white here and there on the walls, and more of the like random gray stuff, just spots and things.
Now, these stories are from years ago. Unfortunately, from what we've seen of his game's progress, he still hasn't outgrown his slacking habits. It just makes you wonder how much more negative stuff about Thor will come out before the internet just moves on. Just like Only Jayus, who's also—
Okay, yeah, we're not watching that video. Alright, what was that one? You guys recommended, or you said to check somebody out. I gotta go back and check quite a ways. What was it? It was something about alright, there, yeah, thank you. Oh. I'll add that to watch later. But I'm not watching that now, don't worry. Dude. Okay, so this... Should turn caption. Okay. That's okay. So full of Riz, oh my god.
Came 2005 to time 뛰고 난 지금까지 still alive now. I have a star, got the 6-piece beach being stylish. My vision, ambition, 맥시 난 가진 reason is big. 처음이진 않지 본적 없는 걸 바뀌지만 독특한 이게 내 색깔 누가 뭐래도 swag이 다른 내 big car. I'm the boss, I'm the man, I'm a super 태양이 불탔듯 열정을 태웠어 나는 몰라도 끌리게 될걸. Yeah, I bet looking at me now. 나만 할 때걸 on my clothes 내 노래 heavy car. Yeah, we roll.
Okay, I'll give him this. It's a pretty good beat. I'll give him that. But the lyrics are interesting. Okay, it's just like it's an after scene. It's like it's a Marvel movie. This was like a Marvel movie. I'm getting an after scene after the music video.
Describe what kind of place you like to live. Really safe plus world in the real world. Why did you only appear now?
What did I think? The lyrics were I mean, okay, they were talking about Riz for like half the music, and then like, I mean, the beat was pretty good and the pacing, but the lyrics were a little weird. They were talking about Riz for half of it. It's all right. I'll do one. I'll do one more. I'll see what this one's about, and then I guess I'll do Intact, unless is Intact part of the group, or is he a different guy? Because I have no idea.
Down, go to best 우리만 다른 mood. Falling down, we're gonna be, we 또 직진 위키. See me now, sing sad song. 그때 뜬 건 아니구나. 간단하지. I don't know how you did it, 자신을 찾을 거야. I don't know how you leaving 날 부를 거야. 아무런 말도 나를 위로하지 못해 yet. 남겨진 나 주위엔 불 켜진 밤. I try to get away. I can't 버린 외로움.
A bit. Sorry, I kind of got into the song a little bit. I think this one's better than the other one, I'll say. It's actually a pretty good song. I do kind of like it. Like there's no like deepness to the lyrics whatsoever, but it is a great beat, and it's kind of catchy. So. I kind of got lost in this one a little bit, not gonna lie.
Yeah, every song we feel like another sad song. 모두가 춤을 추는 mad song. 내 가슴에 멍드는 blues, 내게는 다른 truth. They make you wanna dance, 그래도 난 이겨내. Feel like another sad song. 모두가 춤을 추는 mad song. 같은 데서 다른 move.
Is there gonna be another after scene? I'll oh yep, there is. There we go. Alright, well okay, you know what? That was actually kind of fire. I'm not even gonna I did enjoy that song. I'll give you credit where credit's due. That was pretty fire. All right. We got one. I'm gonna do like one more video. Yeah, honestly, it was
Comedy
fire.
movies have been.
All right, so we're gonna do one more video, and then I got stuff to do in like an hour or so. So it's gonna have to be our last video. But yeah, so why comedy movies died. Patrick CC.
Dead
last
for the past
react
decade, which is especially depressing because Hollywood stopped making funny movies when we needed them the most. The past 10 years have been some of the most chaotic and divided times in modern history. Politics taking over literally everything, cost of living skyrocketing, and people spending hours online doom scrolling an infinite feed of bad news. If there was ever a time we needed to collectively sit in a theater and just laugh at something stupid, it's now. But it wasn't always like this. During the 90s and early 2000s, 2000s, we were getting multiple hilarious comedy films each year. I bet you forgot how stacked the year 2004 was. Anchorman, White Chicks, Dodgeball, Mean Girls, Napoleon Dynamite, all in the same year. If we got one movie as funny as any of these in the past 5 years, we would be grateful.
I think
but this isn't even just an opinion. The data doesn't lie. 2016 was the official point of no return for comedy films. In that year, comedies made up about 12%
I've wanted to watch Mean Girls because I just haven't, mainly because I'm a guy and I thought it was like for the longest time I thought it was a chick movie. So I think I'm gonna watch that. The new one, no.
Domestic box office,
anytime they
pulled
remake
in
a comedy movie, it's always
$1.1 billion. Just
I
1
mean,
year later, their share was nearly cut in half to 7.
Like most of the time, sequel comedies and like remake comedies are awful. Like half the time. I mean, there's a couple of exceptions, but you know, like most of the time when they try to do like sequels or a remake of an old comedy like classic, it's so ass. And I will like
7%, with gross revenue dropping to $790 million, making it the single biggest one-year collapse on record. After that, it was all downhill. 2022 was particularly abysmal, with the entire genre of comedy grossing $259 million. That is an entire year of movies that gross less than just what The Hangover did in 2009. So what happened to comedy films after 2016?
So funny,
well, there are a few things we have to consider, but it all boils down to one major reason. And today we are going to discuss everything, starting with how Hollywood lost the creativity that we used to see in small, medium, and high-budget comedy films. The beauty of comedy is that it's boundaryless, unlike drama, kind of action, or even horror. It doesn't really need to play by any established rules. A comedy can start with literally anything. A talking animal, a man stuck in a time loop, a dodgeball tournament, a pair of clueless detectives, and turn it into a creative masterpiece. The premise doesn't have to be realistic. It doesn't even have to make any sense. As long as it's funny, it works. Take Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, for example. What a unique concept. A private investigator who specializes in finding lost animals and solves crimes through pure chaos and speaks almost entirely in one-liners. At one point, he's literally crawling out of a rhino's ass. Then again, Jim Carrey was kind of a cheat code for 90s comedies. Films like The Mask and Liar Liar showcased his ability to immerse us into the most ridiculous plots imaginable. Carrey had this cartoon-like elasticity. He could bend and contort his face and body, which made even the dumbest scenes or dialogue unforgettable.
Letterboxd? I don't have Letterboxd, bro.
Or what about Dumb and Dumber, which is literally just a movie about two dumbasses?
You go straight ahead and
I've never even I've seen it, like I've never even seen Letterboxd before.
That's
I always use
you have.
Downloaded. Okay, why not?
Austria.
Austria. Well then, good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
I always found myself gravitating towards films that had insanely unrealistic plots. The kind of movies where the world they're in doesn't follow society's rules or any rules at all. When there's no logic to be broken and the possibilities are endless. Like, literally anything can happen. The Hangover took this concept to the absolute maximum. At its core, it's just a bachelor party gone wrong. Something that in real life might just end with a bad hangover and some embarrassing photos. But in this world, it spirals into a mystery involving a missing groom, a stolen police car, a baby in the closet, Mike Tyson's tiger, and a mob boss named Mr. Chow. It's an escalating chain of ridiculous events where every new reveal is crazier than the last, and because the movie establishes early on that anything can happen, you never question it. In Anchorman, the 1970s news industry is less about journalism and more about ego wars that escalate into literal deadly combat between rival news teams. Compete with tridents, horses, and someone catching on fire, and then casually returning to work like nothing happened. Anchorman is the perfect example of a comedy movie that dedicates almost all of its dialogue to do one very important thing, make you laugh.
Brian, I'm going to be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
The amount of quotable lines in this movie is unprecedented. It was even unique back then, but now, I mean, maybe you'd be lucky to get 1 or 2 quotables in a comedy movie. Dodgeball is about a Las Vegas dodgeball tournament for fully grown adults with a prize big enough to save a failing gym.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
What?
They get their asses
That
handed
still
to
makes
them
me
by a
laugh
bunch
every
of Girl
time I see it.
Scouts,
It's so
experiment with
freaking
some
stupid.
interesting uniform styles, and Ben Stiller is in this film doing what he does best, playing the role of the villain. And what about Ted, which asks you to accept, without hesitation, that a man's childhood teddy bear came to life, grew up with him, drinks, does drugs, and gets into full-blown relationships.
I just watched that
and
the
these
other
are
night.
just some
Still,
of the
it's
ultra-mainstream
unbelievably
movies.
funny.
Don't even get me started on Pootie Tang and Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your
Bro,
juice
weren't you in the
hood.
bathroom
These
earlier?
are
Bro,
movies that
he's
are
back in
so
the bathroom
absurd
again.
that you have to make sure you watch them with people who have the same humor as you, otherwise they'll look at you like you're crazy. There are very few comedies today that keep the spirit of this insane absurdity. However, Cocaine Bear is one that does come to mind, which is about an American black bear that eats a stash of cocaine that fell out of a plane smuggling drugs. The bear becomes highly aggressive, attacking and trying to kill hikers in its way. While the movie is just alright, I do respect the dumbness of this idea. It's not trying to be relatable,
Okay.
it's just
Apparently, the movie Cocaine Bear was actually based on a real event. Apparently, the cartel actually lost a shipment of cocaine, and a bear ate it. Yeah, okay. It's not at all what the movie's about. Like, apparently the bear just ate it, and then died in like 20 minutes. But, yeah. For like 10 minutes,
leaning
that bear
fully
was
into
probably
a ridiculous premise
probably
and
the
committing to
strongest
the
creature
bit, and that's
on
something
Earth.
we don't nearly get enough of anymore.
Yeah, I
Most
think it happened
modern
in the
comedy
90s. They
movies
finally
take
made a
the
movie out of
safe
it,
route.
which is
We get
just
movies like
hilarious,
Vacation
honestly.
Friends 2, a generic sequel with the same recycled concept of a holiday gone wrong and being stuck surrounded by people with clashing personalities. Or The Man from Toronto, another Kevin Hart buddy comedy that is so formulaic it feels like it was designed for people to turn on and then fall asleep while the ads run. Comedies rarely go for absurd humor these days because, well, it's really difficult. Too open of a canvas can make it harder to build a story with structure.
we're okay. Yeah, we gotta do a. Not this. True story. Where was it? No, I wanted to. Okay, the real story of Cocaine Bear. We're going on a tangent again, but all right, yeah, 40 years. Okay, the trailer, blah blah blah. The bloody spree. That's not real. Yeah, 1980s. The cocaine was apparently dropped from a plane piloted by Andrew Thornton, a convicted drug smuggler who died September 11th. Bad day, huh? Oh, in Knoxville, Tennessee. He was carrying too heavy a load, and he... Bro, the bear was found dead in the mountains of Fanahan County. Is that Georgia? Or is that Gatlinburg? I can't tell. Tennessee border. Oh, yeah, Georgia. There's nothing left but bones and a big hide. The bear had absorbed 3 or 4 grams of cocaine into its bloodstream, though it may have eaten more. Yeah, bro. That thing OD'd in like 5 minutes. Today, the same bear is said to be on display in Lexington, Kentucky, at the Fun Mall. Bro, that's insane. Oh my god, yeah, that's fair. It's Kentucky. I would expect nothing less from Kentucky.
Sure, the
straight
freedom
up.
to do anything also means there's nothing stopping you from literally.
Okay, wait. Come on. Okay, yeah. They got a section for it. They got merch! They got merch for the bear! Bro. You got a plushie. Okay, I want the... Honestly, I want the shirt. More than anything, I want the shirt. They got Cokie the bear. Cokie the bear? They got the bobblehead. Oh my god. Alright. That is a gold mine. That is greater than... I did not expect to find a merch section for it. There it is. Okay, Cocaine Bear statue. Bruh. Can I enlarge this? No way. This is greater than anything I could have expected, bro. They got a merch section. Dude, honestly, that would be a fire stream idea. Okay, oh, you know what? I gotta talk to some guys about that. Because honestly, I feel like doing this. Going to Kentucky and just, like, getting some Cocaine Bear merch. That actually sounds unironically awesome.
Losing the plot, which is kind of what happened in Cocaine Bear. However, other great comedy films in the past started with a lightly realistic framework, which only enhanced the absolute farce that took place during the film. Like Super Troopers, a movie about morally questionable cops. Sure, that sounds realistic, until you realize these highway patrol officers spend more time pranking civilians and messing with each other than actually enforcing the law. They behave in a way that doesn't even come close to representing reality, and none of them would still have jobs after these antics. But at the same time, it does make you think some cops might actually act like that in private. Or the 40-year-old virgin. Sure, it's very possible that a man could abstain or just not have the opportunity to have sex for half their life. And if you found that out, you might think, wow, that's interesting, and then move on. But the movie takes that basic believable premise and pushes it into pure absurdity. It then turns into all of Steve Carell's co-workers dedicating their entire lives to getting him laid. And of course, stepbrothers.
Oh
I
my...
have a stepbrother. Tons of people have step siblings. It's an extremely relatable experience. Navigating new family dynamics.
If y'all ever
and
watch
sharing space
Step
with
Brothers,
someone
there's
you
a
didn't
couple
grow up
scenes
with.
in there
But
that
in
are
a
so
film,
funny that
nothing
absolutely
about that
would
is
get you
relatable.
banned
We have
for...
two
Like, that would get
40-year-old
you
men with
canceled
no
today for
jobs
doing
that spend
this.
their days building bunk beds, hanging out in a treehouse, and fighting like toddlers.
I don't... You don't know the movie? Oh, bro. Well, of course it's stupid. It's a comedy movie. It's not supposed to look good.
Witnessed with my eyes your
But there's this... Dude, I've seen it. It's hilarious. And it's
A modern version
definitely,
of
like...
this absurd
so
but also
freaking
still
bad, though.
upholding a slight realistic
The
framework
jokes in there
is
are
the teen
so
comedy movie
freaking
Bottoms,
funny.
which is
Like-
basically just another silly high school movie, but through the lens of two queer students. The high school jocks in the film wear their full padded football uniforms 24/7, in class, at parties, while sleeping. It's obviously unrealistic, but it's a funny way of critiquing jocks that dedicate their entire personality to the sport they play. Oh, and a nice touch was throwing one of them in a cage in the classroom for absolutely no reason.
Try telling Dimitri Walker that. Little mother came the first week and I ain't
What is-
seen him
what is
since.
Marshawn Lynch
Dimitri
doing
Walker
here?
committed suicide the first week of school, Mr. G.
Sure he did.
The reason why most comedy films today feel like they are missing that ultra creative touch, at least according to legendary director and producer Judd Apatow, is because comedy writers these days are just less funny. He said, when you make the list of the best movies
bet
of all
half of them
time,
use
they're
AI
always going to
nowadays.
put
I mean,
Airplane
I think
on
I was
it.
like,
And if
wasn't that
movies
like-
like that aren't being made right now, it's because people aren't smart enough
I feel
and
like
funny enough
most-
to make them.
there
Okay,
are some
so
good comedies
who would
coming
be
out,
smart
but
enough
most
or
are,
funny enough
like-
to write a modern
I've
masterpiece?
seen, like, most of the recent comedies, and they're pretty bad. Like, they're just not fun to listen to, or, I guess, watch at all. I think, like, because, like, that wasn't that a huge issue? It was, like, they were using AI and weren't paying writers as much, and they were, like, leaning away from using writers completely. And that's why there's, like, a whole writer's strike to, like, prevent AI use or whatever.
Masterpiece.
So
Well, I've noticed that
I'm
comedy
pretty sure
films
that's probably-
today
probably-
seem to be
that's probably
missing
why
actual
comedy's doing pretty bad.
comedians,
It's 'cause of,
and that's
like, the
because
new,
some of the
AI
funniest
and
and most
stuff.
popular comedians today are opting for something much easier and more profitable: podcasts. Before podcasts became wildly popular, comedians had essentially three
Dude,
routes
Abbott
to
Elementary,
earn
I'm
a
on
career:
season
get
2.
a job on Saturday Night Live, secure a TV sitcom, or get a role in a comedy film. The mainstream visibility
the
earned
jokes
through
in there
these
are written
avenues
perfectly,
allowed
though.
comedians to
Like,
fill seats in comedy clubs across the country. The
so
vast majority of the
good.
comedians responsible for your favorite comedy films were originally platformed by SNL. Eddie Murphy, Bill Murray, Will Ferrell, Mike Myers, Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, Kristen Wiig. I could keep going on and on. It was much easier for a current or ex-SNL cast member to pitch a movie to a major studio because they have already proven to the industry that they are funny. So when these comedians began to see success in films in the 2000s, they assisted in casting other comedy actors with a ton of potential. Actors like Jonah Hill, Zach Galifianakis, Paul Rudd, Vince Vaughn, Melissa McCarthy, Steve Carell were able to skip over SNL and go straight to the big screen. And it sounds painfully obvious to say, but I think a large reason why older films were funnier was because the funniest people at the time were either writing or acting in these comedy films. Today, a comedian doesn't need SNL or a comedy film to determine their potential for a comedy career. All they need is a podcast. If you can be funny for an hour a week behind a microphone, clip the best moments for TikTok or Instagram, and build a loyal audience online, you can skip Hollywood entirely and still sell out theaters on a national tour. I'm sure Theo Von could assist in writing or acting in a really funny movie if he tried, but why would he? With podcast ad revenue, Patreon subscribers, and live show ticket sales selling out all over the country, a lot of comics are making more money than they ever could from starring in a studio comedy without months of shooting.
Any of these people? Dude, just look up their clips, and if you like them, you can just start watching more of their stuff. That's all you got to do. Nowadays, comedy is been divided down into 20-second joke clips, and then there's the joke in there. And I don't think I'll like them.
Studio interference or the risk of a box office flop.
Honestly,
this shift is a huge win for independent comedians, but a huge loss for comedy films. The performers
there's a couple of comedians what's that guy's name? Nate something. I don't like his comedy style, and there's a couple others that I just has the video. Dude, okay. First of all, I think you're making a misconception. James Corden is not a comedian.
have once been fighting
I think everybody universally hates Amy Schumer. I think that's
and the next Step Brothers or The Hangover are now trying to get a spot on the Joe Rogan
in terms
podcast
of comedians,
or be
she has got to be
interviewed
the
by
most
Theo
unfunny
Von.
person
They don't need to
I've
spend
ever
years
heard of.
chasing a studio deal, and they don't have to
Every
share their
single movie
earnings
or
with a production
comedy or
company. It's a
special
double-edged
she's
sword.
seen has
On
made
one
me,
hand, we
roll
can
my
now
eyes.
hear from our favorite funny person every single week, sometimes multiple times a week, without waiting years for them to land a movie role. But the trade-off is that we don't get these larger-than-life, culturally defining moments that comedy films used to create. Nobody is quoting a podcast episode 15 years later the way people still quote Anchorman or Superbad. Well, except this one.
Google's kind of wrong on that, because have you seen his comedy? It sucks.
Well, you don't have to.
I'm not Bobby Mata. I'm Bobby Mom.
And another big reason behind the decline of comedy films, as predictable as it is, I know, but we have to talk about cancel culture, because there are some components of this that make it a real factor. I think it goes without saying that most jokes these days receive backlash when they touch on political or social issues, but comedians have incorporated political undertones in their work for decades.
Are y'all just ordering
Stand-up legends
Chick-fil-A
like Richard Pryor and George Carlin have long pushed boundaries and tackled sensitive topics like race, war, religion, gender, and government policies. The biggest difference is that in earlier eras, their controversial material was more likely to be seen as a part of their artistic persona rather than something to be taken literally. The same thing went for comedy movies. People generally understood that jokes were just jokes, with no intention of doing any actual harm. Then again, societal norms just simply change, and a lot of people today feel that making jokes or making light of very sensitive issues or topics is just not okay. We should not be joking about these things. The 1981 comedy movie Porky's involves male characters spying on naked female students. This was then treated as harmless fun, but now recognized as harassment. The 1984 comedy Revenge of the Nerds includes a disturbing scene where a character disguises himself to trick a woman into sex, something that would now be recognized as rape, not humor. The 1994 film Ace Ventura: Pet Detective has been widely criticized in recent years for the way it mocks a trans woman. The 2001 comedy Shallow Hal centers on the idea that an overweight woman is only seen as attractive through hypnosis, promoting harmful stereotypes. 2007's Norbit has been criticized for its offensive portrayal of black women. The character Rasputia is depicted as an aggressive,
because the whole premise of the movie is he's hypnotized, and then he sees inner beauty, not just what's on the outside, and That was not what I got from that movie at all. It's like, if you judge people purely on appearance, you're never going to be happy. That's what I got out of it. Not that fat people are only, good looking if you get hypnotized. What's the movie called? Shallow Hal. That's it. It's got like Jack Black in it. Scott Pilgrim, dude, that movie was so ahead of its time. I mean, like nowadays, if they made that nowadays, I feel like that would do so much. Like that would do numbers, man. It was just made
Violent,
too early.
Hypersexual, and domineering woman. And there's even a scene in Step Brothers that makes really unapologetic jokes really about white supremacy and Nazism.
Yeah,
Chances are, if you rewatched
Shawshank Redemption flopped, and a lot of people consider that one of the greatest movies of all time.
Film you loved in the past,
So,
you'll
like,
find
just
a
'cause something
joke that
flops doesn't
either
mean it's not a good
aged
movie.
poorly
I
or maybe you
genuinely
just don't think it's
enjoyed,
funny
Scott
anymore.
Pilgrim.
That's normal. And it may seem like these jokes or premises were okay in the past and people didn't care as much, but that's not necessarily the case either. They just did not have the platform to express their opinions. Social media has given literally anyone and everyone a platform to express immediate feedback and criticism, and this is a blessing and a curse. I and many other YouTubers literally benefit from this modern social media climate. We have no superiors that are controlling our opinions, deciding who we can and can't criticize, but then again, I am also providing depth, research, and nuance to the videos that I'm putting out. I'm also not trying to say any actor or movie should be canceled, deplatformed, or lose sponsorship or business opportunities. Also, if you look at the positives, the exact opposite can happen. A movie or comedian that is overlooked by the mainstream or considered problematic could actually be really funny, and there will be online praise for it. A telltale sign is when the tomato meter from expert critics is super low, but the popcorn meter, which is fan reviews, is high. However,
I will say, if I see a movie like that, with on Rotten Tomatoes reviewed like that, I'll go see it, because I do not give one shit what critics say, as long as I'll enjoy it. Like, I don't need it to be like a deep movie about critics are like, I don't need it to be deep or introspective. I just need to be entertained. That's what I'm going to the movie theater for. Like,
most of the problems don't
there's a lot of movies that they reviewed
don't come from people giving
they'll
genuine
give a
nuanced
97%
criticism,
something,
but rather
just
those
I'll
who
go
get their
watch it,
fix by causing outrage. Someone can straight up sit in a
I remember
theater on the
they
night of
reviewed
release.
Thor: Love and Thunder really highly, and I went and saw it, and I was like, this movie kind of sucked. So the only time I go see movies in theaters now is if it's 90% or above with that movie. It wasn't bad. I did not enjoy I don't know. It wasn't bad. I just thought I wasted my money, because I was I did not enjoy I would have watched it at home when it came out in a few months, but I think it just was not something I would have gone to see in theaters if it was if I had seen if I know what it was like beforehand. So now I go purely off audience score instead of
You'll see zero effort Twitter rage baiters go viral with vague tweets like, "I can't believe y'all think this is funny," or "This is problematic," which seems easy to ignore, but it will genuinely make someone think, "Damn, I guess I shouldn't go see this movie," or "Am I a bad person for thinking this is funny?" And because social media rewards outrage, this can snowball into proof that the comedian, actor, or producer is a terrible person who is somehow unworthy of ever working again. People will read critical tweets with hundreds of thousands of likes, and they might disagree with what the people are saying, but because it has so much engagement and so many likes, it makes people change their opinions, change their minds. Maybe this isn't funny. Maybe I shouldn't think this is funny. And before you know it, there is an all-out online war over what was meant to be a joke.
You got this whole other wave where now you have these people who put themselves in the oddest position of being the curators of what was kind or unkind. This was okay, but this wasn't, or I cringe when I look back at this. It's crazy. I think those are sometimes the cringiest.
The purveyor of
what is funny or what isn't. Like, comedy's a big tent.
It's ever evolving. It's not to be dictated.
Right. There's no one way to the waterfall. It's a crazy idea that set up and say, here's how you do comedy. It's like, you got slipping on a banana peel to, totally odd conversations to,
I think comedy was I think when I don't want to be political on here, but I think so this was peak COVID. I remember the Super Bowl, the year after COVID, right after, it was Bucks Chiefs. I remember thinking comedy was as dead as it could be when the Super Bowl commercials were like, just like, I could, like, there was no chuckling at any of them, you know, like, Super Bowl commercials are meant to be funny, or, like, at the very least, like, wacky or interesting. There was not a single ad during the Super Bowl that made me even slightly smirk. That's when I knew there's something was wrong with, like, because, you know, there was, like, a lot of political tension during COVID, so I that's when, like, you knew comedy was just at an all-time low. The Temu that was, like, wasn't that, like, this year? No, I mean, like, 5 years ago, during, like, COVID. Like, right after COVID, it was Chiefs-Bucks, not Chiefs-Eagles. It, like, the entire, like, the ads were just bad. Like, entirely bad. I mean, it's all I remember. I don't watch the Super Bowl.
What people find to be funny.
You're not,
it's like almost like people that would like sit and overanalyze
if you're not from America,
a situation to the point of making themselves feel really good about themselves.
And while you might think all of this is just easy to ignore, it's social media, it's not real, just make the movie, right? Well, it's evident that major studios are a little hesitant to release a comedy with edgy or politically incorrect humor. However, actor Seth Rogen disagreed with this notion during an interview with Esquire magazine. The complaint that comedy is harder than it used to be is not a valid complaint. Maybe it was too easy before, and why should it be? Why shouldn't it be hard? I like that my job is hard because I'm trying to do something that requires a huge amount of resources and people's time and energy. What do you wish you could say? What do you feel has been taken from you? It's always funny when people are like, oh, they could never make the Diversity Day episode of The Office today. You can still watch it. I'm constantly meeting teenagers who love Superbad and who think it holds up, and none of them are like, how dare you have said that? And Seth does make some great points here. Studios can still make whatever they want. There's nothing stopping.
So you're saying your family watches it. Are you with your family?
Them, and it's not objectively harder to be funny today. It just seems like they are not being honest about what they actually think is funny, which is why these comedy movies come out with boring or sanitized humor. The reason why Superbad holds up is because it was honest about the way many teenage boys think and speak. They are rude, crass, always thinking about sex, insulting each other constantly, distracted in school, thinking about the weekends, and living life like they are invincible.
It's boring.
Get out of here. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, that's fair. Sometimes it is.
Calm down,
Half the time you don't get a good game.
It's soccer. You, man.
Hey, Greg, why don't you go pick your pants again?
That was like 8 years ago.
People don't forget.
They call each other gay, sometimes even using the F slur, even though that would widely be considered homophobic and a cancelable offense these days.
That's really messed up. Super gay.
The way they behave and talk is shocking and inappropriate, but that's what makes it funny because it is somewhat of a snapshot of reality, with the exception that just the average teenage boy is not that funny. Now, you might think this is problematic behavior, and maybe it is. So maybe the film is just not for you. But some take it one step further. They say a film like this is platforming and promoting this disgusting behavior. We are idolizing these morally bankrupt teenage boys, which will justify their bad behavior and maybe even inspire them to act in such a way. And hey, that could also be true too. But regardless of how you feel, the movie is good because it is honest. They went for it and they doubled down on it, even though it was politically incorrect. A modern version of Superbad wouldn't ever be made because they would be too afraid to offend anyone while providing a somewhat realistic depiction of a teenage boy who is gross and reckless with his words. And even if they did, they would probably add some tertiary character who steps in and tries to correct their behavior or be the voice of reason. Then again, sometimes being realistic is not funny. Like, look at the 2020 film American Pie presents Girls' Rules. American Pie is supposed to be a raunchy, disgusting depiction of the primitive young adult.
Not the poster, but I saw like that on not Netflix, what it's called, like Vudu or Fandango at home, and I was like immediately got turned off. I'm like, did they like Ghostbusters this? Did they just remake it with an all-girl cast? Because that's all I got from that. I didn't even, and I was like horribly
or teenage
so I didn't even
sex,
bother
drugs, partying. It's unapologetic and incredibly stupid. This modern version was supposed to be the same thing, but from a female perspective, looking to spice up their love lives before graduation. 4 female high school seniors band together to harness their girl power and get what they want from the boys. Let's just compare really quick. The first clip is from the original American Pie. This is how they wrote a female innuendo.
Oh, and this one time at band camp, I stuck a flute in my...
Oh, Jesus.
Excuse me?
Wow.
You don't think I know how to get myself off? Hell, that's what half of band camp is. So, are we gonna screw soon? Because I'm getting kind of antsy.
Now compare that to the new American Pie.
None of us need a man to have a healthy life. I am learning that technology has given us incredible innovations in self-pleasure. And like whatever you're into, external, internal, rabbits, wands, vibrators, remote controlled plugs, beads, then wall balls. And wall balls. Oh yeah, I have 2 in right now. It is a very specific sensation. Ooh.
Yeah, the old one is definitely better.
Maybe this
that
new
was
version is funny,
genuinely
and
like not funny. That was that was horrible. They thought that was a good joke. I mean, like y'all remember? I mean, Ghostbusters 2016 was a divisive movie for a lot of reasons, but I think the main complaint was one, it was a lazy remake of a classic movie just with women. That was like the main complaint, and then there was like the sexist stuff. But you know, if you get rid of that, it was a valid complaint, and also it was not a good movie. So like that's what that new movie
I'm
feels
just not
like.
the target demographic.
That was not good.
So I'll ask my
That was not
20%
good.
female audience, what do you think is funnier? A girl saying, "We don't need men, we have toys," or a girl saying, "I shoved a flute up it at band camp"? The fear of being canceled is so apparent that studios seem to not even try to make a true comedy anymore. Some of the most highly rated comedy films in the 2020s aren't exactly praised for their straight up funny premises and jokes. Take Don't Look Up, for example. Sure, it has funny moments, but it's a satire about a planet-killing comet that's clearly a metaphor for climate change, media distraction, and problematic politics, setting up the planet for failure. Do these comments look like they are for a comedy movie? I always respect a movie that has the balls to actually show the world ending.
You're still in the
Every
bathroom,
disaster
bro.
movie starts with the government ignoring a scientist. We really did have everything, didn't we? Damn, that made me cry. You know what other comedies are extremely popular in the 2020s? Free Guy, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Do you notice anything different about these comedy movies? They are superhero movies. And don't get me wrong, they're entertaining, they're fun, but they're not comedies in the traditional sense. We get a lot of these films that are
Bro's been in
action
the bathroom
first
for
with
3
humor as a
hours.
seasoning, but ultimately, much like every other industry, the true reason why comedy films are not being made like they used to is because of, you guessed it, money. When it comes to movie theater ticket sales and financial performance, comedies have always been risky. While genres like adventure and action can have more of an expected success due to built-in spectacle,
I think like the
global
only thing
appeal, and
that
merchandising
actually makes a lot
potential,
of money
comedies
nowadays
rely
is like
almost entirely on the jokes
Spider-Man
landing. What one person finds
and, like,
hilarious,
Superman
another might
movies. And,
find
like, I don't think
confusing,
Superman even
offensive,
made that
or
much
simply
money. It only made,
unfunny.
like,
Jokes
600
often
million,
rely on shared knowledge,
which, I mean, is a lot,
references,
but
or
not-
social commentary that
not
might
as
not
much as it could've
translate
made.
across different cultures or age groups. A comedy scene that relies on American pop culture might fall flat for an international audience unfamiliar with these references. And on top of that, there's typically no giant CGI battle or billion-dollar franchise name to fall back on if the audience isn't laughing. Now, back in the day, plenty of comedies were huge financial successes. Meet the Fockers, The Waterboy, Wedding Crashers, 22 Jump Street, all grossing hundreds of millions of dollars in the worldwide box office, whereas others that are still considered
Meet the
good or cult classics underperformed in the box office. Adam Sandler's
what's-
Billy Madison only grossed $26 million at the box office. Dazed and Confused only earned $8 million.
I remember that, like, there was
Grandma's
that one
Boy,
scene
$6
from,
million.
I think it was, like,
And this was
what
at
was
a
his
time when
name?
people were still actively going to the theaters.
I'll
Our
look up
last
the clip
peak in
later.
movie theater ticket sales
But
was
it
in
was really funny.
2002 when 1.5 billion tickets were sold. And although these films technically made more money than their budget, film budgets typically refer to production costs only. Marketing and distribution costs, also
Okay.
known as
That movie
P&A,
was fire,
print and
though.
advertising, are handled
Deadpool
separately. And these
Wolverine,
marketing
was
costs
it,
can
like,
be in the tens of millions.
intellectually
However,
stimulating?
where these
No,
films
but it
made
was
their
really
real
funny,
money
and
was
I
in DVD
genuinely enjoyed
sales.
watching it.
Also, another
You
thing
didn't
of
watch
the
it?
past.
Dude, it's
DVDs,
really funny.
rentals, and cable syndication were the lifeline for comedies that didn't crush it in the theaters. A movie like Billy
like, that's
Madison
one of the
might
best-
have been
like, not- it's
considered
like it
a
wasn't like a great
moderate
Marvel movie, but
performer
it
at
was
the
like
box
something you could
office,
just
but once
turn
it
off your
hit
brain and
Blockbuster
enjoy.
shelves and played
And
on
I
Comedy
genuinely
Central
think
every
it's
other
one of my
weekend,
favorite
it became a
superhero movies.
cultural staple. Those secondary markets gave studios the confidence
You're
to take
messing
a
with me. You
chance
don't know who
on
Deadpool
mid-budget
and Wolverine
comedies
are?
because even if they didn't make their money back in the theaters, there was a high probability the film would eventually find its audience later. That
You're messing
safety
with
net
me.
is now gone. Ticket sales are down. Physical media sales have plummeted. Rentals are practically extinct.
All right,
and while
well,
streaming
look 'em
might
up. I
seem
guess
like a
I don't-
replacement, it
I've
doesn't
never met
generate
anybody who
anywhere
doesn't.
near the same
They've at
revenue
least
for
seen
studios.
like the
Once a comedy
trailers or
film drops
something,
on
or, like,
Netflix or
the
Hulu, the
posters.
studio gets its licensing fee, and that's it. There's no long tail of DVD sales trickling in for years, no late night TV reruns keeping the movie in circulation. There is no second life. Judd Apatow confirmed this when he said, after the last writer's strike, it felt like the studios decided not to develop movies. They used to buy a lot of scripts, and they had big teams of people giving notes, and they worked for years with people in collaboration on those scripts. I feel like the studios don't buy as many scripts now. Today, every comedy has to either perform in theaters that are half empty, or immediately crush on streaming, or it's a total loss. So basically, comedy films just can't work in the modern era. Comedians are choosing podcasting and stand-up over film. The toxicity of cancel culture puts comedy films at risk to cause uproar, either immediately or years from now when people just decide the jokes are problematic. And combine that with no multiple streams of revenue to make back the investment, comedy films are a huge risk that most major studios simply aren't willing to take anymore. So you're just gonna have to find something else to laugh at.
Yeah, that's. I have noticed that. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it's kind of sad, but like, there's not a lot of movies are making money anymore. It's nowadays. It's like if you don't make like, I think what is it, I think Thunderbolts, Captain America, Fantastic Four, and Superman all technically flopped. I mean, technically, I think Superman made money, but it wasn't even as much as Man of Steel made back in like 2013, which, you know, due to inflation is a lot less. All right. What was I doing? Ignore the biker, just keep driving. All right, what was I doing? All right. Dude, you're walking while delivering. Okay. Alright. Well, that's gonna do it for this stream. I kind of want to just let it go for a bit, just let y'all keep chatting, but because this is generally making me laugh quite a bit. All right. I will see. I don't know. I'll probably be back Monday, maybe. It depends on what I'm feeling. It might be Tuesday. But yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll hopefully see y'all in a future stream or anything. All right. Bye.